Hi there, I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Mack. We are going to be interrupting the Kelly Clarkson show here for a little bit. We've had a tornado warning issued. This is going to be for the eastern part there of Bourbon County. So again, we're looking at a tornado warning there for Bourbon County. We're also looking at that extending up into the extreme southern part there of Nicholas County. So this is going to be for till 2:15. So this is a short fuse tornado warning. Here we are at 2:03. So this one's only extending for about 15 minutes. So it looks like there's been a little bit of intensification to this storm that had been going through Paris. We just tweeted out a couple of seconds ago that we were seeing some strong winds within that line just between North Middletown and Paris. We were seeing about a 50-mile-per-hour gust, but the folks at the Weather Service have now gone ahead and made this into a tornado warning for folks there in eastern Bourbon County as well as in southern Nicholas County. So again, you see a kind of an S shape right in there. That's what they are looking at in terms of issuing this warning. That's one of the signs that can be a precursor to some rotation. So very close to plumb at this point. Sharpsburg, you're getting into Bath County at that point. You're not included in this particular warning, but again, that's also switching National Weather Service offices. They're at the Nicholas and Bath County line as well as the Bourbon Montgomery County line. So again, you're switching from Louisville to the Jackson National Weather Service office. So don't be surprised in the next few minutes if Montgomery or Bath County does get included into this. But again, what we are looking at here is a storm that is close to Plum, Bunker Hill. Again, you're seeing that kind of an S shape right in there. So again, for this tornado warning that again is for Bourbon County as well as for Nicholas County, and this is only going to be in effect until 2:15. So again, you're looking at this storm when we pop up our velocity display on it. So you got the red and the green right there by Plum and Bunker Hill. So that's what we're talking about here. This is going to be a little bit to the south there of Little Rock. So again, the sweep's going to come by and we're seeing a little bit of change there. So again, very close to Bunker Hill. It's a small rotation. This is not anything big, but again, right there at the Bath and Bourbon County line is where we are seeing this storm. If we were to put a track on this, we're going to see this one headed off to the east at around 25 to 30 miles, and I will put it up there at 30. We'll get up there. There we go. So again, some of the communities that will be impacted by this, and we are getting in to Bath County at this point. Sharpsburg, Bethel, and Reynoldsville are the communities that are in line for this particular cell. So that's what we're looking at. Again, there is rotation showing up here between Bunker Hill and Plum as we are just inside Bourbon County at this point. So again, that's a tornado warning until 2:15 for folks there in Bourbon and southern Nicholas and extreme southern Nicholas County. Wanted to show you one other area that we are concentrating on here, and that is for storms that are in a squall line back here to the west. Now, it has a tornado warning associated with it in the western part there of Washington County, and you get into the northwestern part there of Marion County. The storm's just about outrun that warning at this point. It has not been extended as a tornado warning, still to the west of Springfield. But you're also looking at some intensification now just to the north of Springfield there in Washington County. And so with that particular cell, you are looking at the potential for that one to be tornadic. Certainly straight line winds are going to be a big concern, but you also can take a look at this right in here, where we've got this coming off this way from the line. Then you've got the line coming in perpendicular. So that implies that there is going to be a cell merger with some shear going on. So again, don't be surprised if this gets a warning on it issued here in the next little bit. You also see the uptick in the lightning right in there, another precursor to a possible warning update with that particular cell. Everyone south of I-64 is under a severe thunderstorm watch. That does include Lexington. Pretty strong cell has been going through southern parts of Jessamine County, hugging the Kentucky River there. And then we've got other storms that are back toward Frankfort. These should just be garden variety. That leads us back to the tornado warning. It's now a severe thunderstorm warning. So the folks at Jackson are being a little more conservative with this. But this is now a severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be for Bath County, northern Montgomery County, and that's going to be in effect until 2:30 for this cell that's coming out now of Bourbon County, extreme southern Nicholas County. I'm going to guess, Bain, that has TOR possible on it?
Tornado possible, 60-mile-per-hour wind right now. Yep, until 2:30.
Okay. So Bain Froney working back here as well. So we are coordinating our efforts here with as we planned for this afternoon. All the ingredients were coming into place for this to be a pretty active afternoon. And well, we've got the tornado warning right now to justify that. So again, you've got severe thunderstorm warning Montgomery and Bath County until 2:30 that we are looking at for that particular cell. Again, back here to the west as this line, which again, that's now at the end of that tornado warning. So imagine the folks in Louisville, they've got the severe thunderstorm warning that's out to the Washington and Marion County, basically the county lines there, before crossing into Mercer and Boyle. They're waiting to see if this rotation begins to come back in again. And that's why you're seeing the red flashing there within the line. Usually it would be out in front. But again, with the little uptick right in here in Washington County, don't be surprised if that does become a warned storm here in the next little bit. So that's one way to look at these. And we are looking here, let's go over to Louisville here real quick and show you the shear rates. And within that, it's kind of getting lost in the clutter here, but you're seeing the greens and stuff beginning, and the brighter greens extending out. So that's one of the things that we would look at, kind of sifting through the clutter of all this. In terms of velocity, the lightning is getting a little bit in the way, so let's remove that. And in the velocity displays, it's a very diffuse rotation at this point, where we were looking at the potential cell merger up here to the northwest of Springfield. You see some strong velocities. So that is certainly part of this cell at this point, but you don't have any of the implied rotation. So again, we'll keep an eye on that storm there by Springfield. As long as we're at it here, let's take a look at the storm that is up in Bourbon County. And with it, it's already beginning to get hot. So let's switch over to Jackson's radar real quick, just real quick. And also, severe thunderstorm watch there for Menifee County. But if we switch to Jackson, okay, and take a look at their storm relative, we get a different view of the storm. Not showing much. So again, the tornado warning remains in place there. Tornado warning for Bourbon County until 2:15. Severe thunderstorm warning extends off to the east of that. That might have just been. What's going to be a case with these storms is you're going to get quick little spin-ups as a possibility. There's pretty strong cells still back there south of Paris, between there and North Middletown. But it's on its squall line. So that's as fast as that seems to be moving now. And by the way, the storm cell itself looks to be out of the tornado warning at this point. But as fast as this is moving now, it would not be a surprise at all if this is turning into some straight line wind problems. Right there on the leading cusp. Between North Middletown there and Mount Sterling, northern part of Montgomery County, then get over towards Sharpsburg there and Bethel in Bath County. So again, the storm itself has passed by Plum. It's north of Judy if this storm were still possessing the potential to be a tornadic storm. Not showing up really well in the velocity displays. It's very diffuse. This is coming from Louisville. What we've done with that is just looking at this from a long distance. These are the ones that issued the warning. So you're seeing, again, a very broad rotation there. But we can also go ahead and show you on the max track here. And again, you've got some reds and greens next to each other here. And again, this is east of Plum, but it is out of the warning area. But it is a small area of rotation. So what will be a characteristic of a lot of these storms, straight line winds will be the primary threat. But as they evolve, you can get little, what are called bookend vortices, and these can spin up very brief little tornadoes. Any tornado is dangerous. Don't want to diminish that fact, but it's not going to be these gigantic things that you see out in the plains. If you see them on Twitter over the last couple of weeks with these huge storms, that's not going to be the case with these. What we are going to see with these is, again, the potential that something spins up quickly. They have not extended the tornado warning in Washington or Marion County. We've got 3 minutes left on the warning for Bourbon and Nicholas County, but at this point, it does look like that storm has moved into Montgomery County. Within this area down here to the south, where you're seeing these individual cells beginning to pop up, this is a very unstable environment. It is warm, it is humid. And you've got a trigger mechanism now beginning to impinge on that storm fuel. And so these individual cells are going up. It's also a sheared environment. And that means that these storms can begin to attain some spin to them. So any one of these can develop as well. But it's this primary squall line right now where our attention is still focused. 2:12 on the clock. The warning expires at 2:15. Okay, so the tornado warning for Bourbon and Nicholas County has been allowed to expire. You've got the squall line now that's approaching Mercer County. It's approaching Boyle County. You've got a strong cell just south of Lebanon. You can see some of the communities that will be impacted from it. Over the next 15 minutes or so, we'll keep an eye on that BTI number. That tells you whether or not the storms are intensifying and how they rate. So again, this warning will be expiring. Is that 2:30 on that warning? 2:15. 2:15. Yeah. 2:15. So that one's also expiring here at 2:15. So again, you see Bain there working in the back. Severe thunderstorm warning for Washington and Marion outside the tornado warning extends until 2:30. We're going to keep a real close eye on this storm that's coming out of Washington and Nelson counties. Actually, it's coming out of Washington into Mercer County. So you folks there in the 127 corridor there around Harrodsburg, be aware that this is an interesting storm to watch here, as we got a cell merger there right around Mackville and Willisburg. And as we have been watching the velocities on it, let's hopefully get a velocity pop. Let's go ahead and show you, bring it over to Louisville real quick. There, oh, sure, right there. But yeah, right over Mackville, you've got at least an intensifying of the wind, but there's no rotation showing up. There is some broad rotation as you look there by Lebanon. So that's an area to watch as well. So again, you're seeing the greens and the reds kind of intermingling there. So right now, that's just a severe thunderstorm warning. And with the tornado warning that have been both allowed to expire, we will go ahead and send it back to the Kelly Clarkson Show. You folks in Mercer County, Boyle County, Casey County, Anderson County, be aware that you've got some strong storms around and that we have the severe thunderstorm watch area-wide until 8 o'clock. Keep it on LEX-18. Stay weather aware and stay informed. Well, we hope you enjoyed that 2 minutes of the Kelly Clarkson Show. We are now bringing you back to a new tornado warning. And this is for the cell we had been talking about coming out of Lebanon there. So again, we were showing you that rotation just a second ago. Folks at the Weather Service have now gone ahead and issued tornado warning for Boyle County until 2:45, and also for the extreme northern part of Casey County until 2:45. You can also throw in Marion County from Lebanon eastward until 2:45. The storm itself right now is very close to Lebanon. In fact, it would be right over Lebanon at this point. The rotation actually is tightening up. So we've been watching this here. You're seeing these reds and greens now getting very close to each other right over Lebanon. So at the very least, you've got the rotation. Now, if you're in Lebanon, I do not want you to go outside and look up to see if there's rotation. You need to be in your safe spot at this point, because this can indeed drop a tornado very quickly. For you folks in Pennock, in Riley, Alliston, Poplar Corner, the storm is coming very close to you. So this, again, is a potentially tornadic storm, essentially over downtown Lebanon at this point. And again, you're seeing the cone of this cell, of this warning, as it extends outward. So let's go ahead and get a track on here for you. And, oops, bring it back. There we go. All righty. Make sure we've got the track. And we'll start it here right at Lebanon at about 35 miles an hour. And there you see it's over Lebanon now. Pennock at 225, Riley at 230, Gravel Switch 234, Allison 236, Cranetown 237, Forkland at 240, Mitchellsburg 243, and if it has a little bit of a leftward kick, Perryville at around 244. So this again is coming off the National Weather Service radar. We'll get in on the max track here in a second, but again, it's showing what has, oop, we went too far in, so we take you into home. We'll take you into home, hopefully. There we go. Bring it back around. Here's the big picture for you. And in fact, we're also getting, it looks like we could be getting a little bit of a cone on that. So again, there's your tornado warning storm out of Marion County. With it, we have been watching, again, this beginning to try and tighten up some as it's moving past Lebanon, going right down Highway 68 there. So again, going through that countryside and the hills there, the knobs to the north and northeast there of Lebanon there in Marion County. Again, you've got a potentially tornadic storm in progress. Severe thunderstorm watch covers basically the rest of the area. When we go back to our max track with this, we'll give you the live look here. So we're showing the core of that storm east of Lebanon, still to the west of Riley. and it's on a path that's going to take it more toward Cranetown, it looks like at this point. But for folks in Bradfordsville, you're close to the storm. Stay in your safe spot here for the next few minutes. It's going to clip the southern part there of Washington County. You can see Perryville's right at the edge of this tornado warning. So again, you need to be alert to this storm. The skid is showing more of a southeast movement, but we've been watching this more of an east-northeast with time. So again, as we look at that particular cell, that's what we see out of it. Velocity display on it. Try and bring the max track on here. Hit that for you one more time. And there it disappeared, and I'll make it reappear. There you go. And the velocity display from it. So you've got the greens and the reds here close. Again, between Lebanon and Riley at this point, north of Bradfordsville. So we talk about severe weather procedures. What do you do? And we try and make it as simple as we can. We call it CDUC. So with that, what you do is you close your interior doors. If you've got time, you close your doors. You make your house into a bunch of little compartments. The reason for that is in a worst case scenario, you're trying to lessen the overall damage. And when you compartmentalize things, think of it like a submarine. They have those watertight doors to try and lessen the damage. Well, the same thing works with a house as a tornado is hitting it. If you have compartmentalized things, the winds can stay contained to just one section of the house instead of blowing through the whole thing, and you end up with catastrophic damage. So again, you're just trying to limit the damage. You want to be downstairs. If your house has a basement, you get to it. If not, lowest level you can. Ground floor is the other optimal place. You want to be under something big, heavy, and sturdy. Big, heavy table. You want to be under a staircase if you can. Staircases are very strong structures. Inside a bathtub, again, just trying to protect yourself from flying debris. You want to be in the center of the house. Use those walls as layers of protection. Middle part of the house, in a bathroom, a closet, under a stairwell, in the interior part of your house, in the basement. And then keep away from windows and doors where there can be flying glass. Keep a helmet nearby if you can. All these things can help you in the event of a worst case scenario. So now we are back to looking at our velocity display here. Storm itself looks to be pretty close to Riley at this point. We bring the regular radar back online here for you. And with that, here we go. So again, very close to Riley with this cell at this point. Maybe along and just south of Highway 68, but it's really close. Cranetown, Alliston, Forkland, you guys all need to be in shelter now as this storm is approaching you. Again, the severe thunderstorm watch is out there, but again, the tornado warning, and that's the serious one here. Tornado warning until 2:45 for Marion County, for Boyle County until 2:45, and for northern Casey County until 2:45 with our tornado warnings that are out there. Big picture for you, because we have other storms that are around. We have severe thunderstorm warning ongoing also on the northern flank of this line along I-64. Storms are still north of 64 at this point, north of Owingsville, north of Mount Sterling. That storm over by North Middletown has an intriguing look to it. The storm that's north of Highway 60 there in Bath County, right there at the Montgomery County line, also has some interesting features. So let the sweep come on by. You can see a little intensification right there, right along Highway 60 there to the west of Owingsville, again near the Montgomery County line. That's heavy rain back by the Toyota plant. Strong storm, heavy rain at this point. Radar continuing the tornado warning, Boyle, Casey, Marion. Tornadoes, okay, nothing new really on that. And as we're up, I'm just checking data back here. Bain, have you seen anything?
Nothing yet. We're still just waiting for the tornado warning still to extend and keeping an eye on everything else here. But if anyone sees anything, you see tag us on social media, we can always put that out there as well.
Terrific. All righty. So let's go ahead and look at velocity displays here. Let's bring it over, take it to Jackson here, just for a second, just to see what they're seeing. Nothing much. We do have no rotation, but that's likely straight line winds. You see that brighter red showing up there just north of Owingsville with that particular cell. You can see Reynoldsville, Owingsville at 234, Slate Valley 238, Olympia 243, Stringtown 246. The BTI numbers crept up slightly, so the storm is showing some intensification as it moves east at around 31 miles an hour. So that cell is the one that's in Bath County south of Sharpsburg at this point. When we look back on our max track to show you exactly where the storm is, there we go. Again, right there just to the northwest of Owingsville, north of Highway 60. So this is still a couple of miles north of I-64. The storm's exited out of Montgomery County. Nothing right now that North Middletown cell, other than the fact that it's probably just some very heavy rain at this point. But again, we'll keep an eye on that. And we take you back now to the tornado warned storm. You also notice we're getting some arrows showing up with the cells that are sitting down. Pop that back up. Let's get rid of that. Thank you. And down here into Leslie County. So you see hiding there. So these are the cells that are popping up on their own. So they're in a very unstable environment. They are under a severe thunderstorm watch. And so at the very least, you might have some small hail with this. You notice the BTI number with this is higher. Bring that up here. See, that number is at 3.9. So it's in a more conducive environment for a storm to perhaps become tornadic. So you folks in Leslie County, you don't have a warning right now. This is just a heads up. But that these storms are intensifying for you down there. So again, just be aware of what is going on with these cells. And we'll bring you back now to the storm that is tornado warned. And this is in Boyle County. Storm is still actually in Marion County in the big picture here. It's east of Lebanon. It is very close to the Boyle and Marion County line, clipping the very northern part there of Casey County. You folks in Alliston, storm is basically at your doorstep at this point as it's moving right along Highway 68. And with that cell, I think that's the one that just popped up. That's not going to go away nice and easily. There we go, there we go. So again, it's passed by Pennock. It's passed by Bradfordsville at this point. When we're looking at velocity displays, and we'll bring the max track velocity on here first. Not showing anything in particular in terms of rotation that we're seeing on this. Straight line winds are certainly a possibility. When we're seeing some of that at this point, what are we looking at? Some of the stronger winds, 40-mile-per-hour winds, and that's going to be probably about 1,000 feet up where we're seeing that. So again, that's at that point. But again, I'm not seeing, at least off our radar, much rotation with that. If we switch over to Louisville, they might have a different view. They do show a little different view, a little more precise or a little more concise rotation there near Pennock. But again, that's also right there approaching Alliston, which is what we were just talking about. So our radar, well, there's the update. Our radar is showing it basically here. From a minute or two ago, it's still back to the southwest of Alliston. That's a very broad rotation. So may or may not have a tornado with it. It certainly, if you were looking at it, which again, you should not be, but if we're looking at that storm from a distance back here, you would see a wall cloud with that. The wall cloud has a broad rotation to it. Whether or not a funnel's coming out of that, if it happens, it may only happen for 30 seconds or a minute. It's a possibility with these types of storms. But again, for folks there, between Riley and Alliston is where we are looking at that. So you've got everything coming down around this way with that particular cell, then coming back this way. So that's your rotation showing up in the storm relative velocity. What storm relative does is it takes the motion of the storm, it runs an algorithm. So instead of just seeing the winds, it's factoring in how the storm is also moving. And it helps to give a little more precise measurement as to exactly what the winds are at that particular level. So you folks in Alliston, you folks in Forkland, Cranetown, you guys need to be in shelter at this point. The storm does indeed show some degree of rotation. Again, close to Highway 68 there for folks there as you're crossing from Marion into Boyle County. Live look then, again, we're looking at the core of that storm pretty close to Alliston. And if it's tornadic, it would be right around Alliston at this point, if the storm is still trying to produce one. Again, Bradfordsville, you guys, the storm has passed by you. Pennock, the storm has passed by you. Perryville to Alum Springs, you guys need to be aware of what this cell is up to. Still not seeing any updates. So at this point, we're still continuing just to monitor this. And again, the storm is now east of Lebanon, well east of Lebanon. It's close to the Marion-Boyle County line along and near Highway 68. Forkland, Alliston, Cranetown. You guys are the communities immediately in the impact area. Brumfield is going to be next over Gravel Switch at this point. Again, you are likely near the center of this cell. When we're looking at the velocity displays, this is off the max. Again, we're not seeing a lot of rotation off of this. Might be something there between Alliston and Gravel Switch. We're seeing that just a brief little uptick right in there. More speed shear than directional that we're picking up. But again, Louisville has a little different angle on it. And so if we look at their display, again, just trying to bring the best information. Let's look at the shear, how we're doing with that. So again, that's back to west and southwest of Gravel Switch, but that needs to be updated, I think, a little bit. So we go to storm relative on this. It's showing up between Gravel Switch and Riley. So that's where the storm likely is. So again, we've already told you folks, you guys still need to be in your shelter. And this is going to be headed toward Alliston, toward Forkland. There's the update, just came in. It's crossing now into Boyle County, just past Gravel Switch. So again, our max is a little bit ahead of this display, approaching Brumfield and Forkland there. But when we're talking about the toward and away, and again, this is looking off, this is the storm relative off of Louisville. So again, toward the radar display and away, and so that implies your counterclockwise rotation there. So that's your broad rotation, and it's pretty broad. This is not a tight, compact system. So again, it's one of those, it could drop something real quick and it comes right back up again. Damaging wind gusts are still going to be a factor with this, regardless if there's any spin to this at all. The storm could be producing a little bit of hail as well. There's the straight up radar display. And again, there's no classic hook that you're looking at there. So let's go back over to our max. Anything with those beep beeps, Bain?
Yeah, so we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings that are just starting to come out. We have one in Madison County that's going to be until 3:15. That's Fleming and Rowan until 3:15 as well. I'm also seeing over in Russell, Kentucky as well. So there's a couple of these starting to pop up around here.
All right. So that's the quick update. So let's go ahead and bring you the big picture and bring you in on these individual warnings. So, and the one cell that we were just looking at there in Leslie County, it has issued a warning for it literally as we were talking right here. So let's take you first to Rowan County. And this is one of those cells right on the edge of the line, technically out of the severe thunderstorm watch, but sometimes that just doesn't matter. The storm right now is very close to Owensville, so this is a severe thunderstorm warning for Rowan County and for Bath County until 3:15.
We just got another tornado warning for Boyle, Casey, and Lincoln County.
Okay.
Until 3 o'clock.
Okay. What we're going to do is, so if you were hoping to watch any of the Kelly Clarkson show, you'll find it online somewhere. But now the tornado warnings have been extended. And it's for the same cells we've been talking about here. It's on the same track. So now you've got the cells. Forkland. See, well, bring this back over this way a little bit. Come on back. There we go. So again, you see the communities that are impacted by this new tornado warning. So you've got the storm there near Forkland. Actually, what are they saying with the tornado? Southeast of 13 miles southwest of Danville, moving east at 50. So that's the first time we've seen a number like that show up. So as we're coming now into this more unstable air, let's go ahead and back this out a little bit and try and give you a little bit better picture. Big picture first. Big picture, and we'll come in. So again, we've talked about the tornado warning. So here's your tornado warning. Southern half of Boyle, northern half there of Lincoln County, and the northern third there of Casey County. So that's north of Liberty. But Stanford, you are included with this. Danville, you're on the edge. Junction City would be included in this new tornado warning. So it's for this line that is sitting now from Perryville into the northern part there of Casey County. Looks, the new severe thunderstorm warning just went up just to the south. We'll get to it in a minute. But again, for that tornado warning, that severe thunderstorm warning looks to be for Wayne and Pulaski. You folks in Mount Vernon, be ready as well. We were highlighting Danville as one of those places here where we might be looking for these storms to go. And so again, here's your big picture. Here's your line. It's this cluster right in here where we have had the tornado warnings issued over the last half hour or so. So as we come in, storm right now is still back toward Forkland. So they were saying 13 miles. So we got Danville. So it was near Forkland at that point. The storm is near Forkland, between Forkland and Butchertown, it looks like at this point. Perryville, looks like you guys will be missing this. It's passing just to your south. Atoka, same idea. It looks like it may be passing just to your south. Danville's right on the edge of this warning. Alum Springs, you are in the new tornado warning. Houstonville is in this. Butchertown, Blue Lick, Halls Gap. So you're getting there into Lincoln County, down to Highlands, Stanford. McKinney is likely in that warning as well. Gilbert over to Hubble. Junction City is included in this. There you got Alum Springs, Ackman. Well, we know where Junction City is. It's right in there. So we know it's there. It's just not showing up on the map. But again, you folks there are also included in this tornado warning. So the big picture on it, storm near Forkland. It's still within the initial tornado warning. They've expanded eastward to account for a little bit of acceleration. For you folks in southern Boyle County, south of Highway 150. South of Highway 150, you guys need to be in your shelter. So you see 150 there between Danville and Stanford as well. Again, in shelter, Houstonville, Butchertown, Forkland, Alum Springs. This squall.
Another tornado warning for Madison County that's going to be 3:15.
All right. So we've been highlighting this particular group of cells. Let's take you now to the next one. You just saw it pop up right there. That one has a hook. That one shows up vividly. So what we are looking at with this, we went in too far. Bring it back out. So there again, this one is more of a classic supercell look. You notice it's also, this one's off by itself, not part of the main line. So we're talking about how these cells that were out here in front have the potential to work with a lot more shear. Any damage reports coming in yet, Bain? Okay, so the storm is near Million. It's going to be passing along probably just north of Richmond. Tornado warning, Madison County until 3:15. You folks in Red House, you folks in Whitehall, you guys need to be in your shelters at this point. As you come in, the storm is approaching I-75. Again, this one shows up strongly right in here. So again, on velocity display, we're going to pull, there we are. So that's off of max. So it's going to be right in here is where we are seeing that potential for a tornadic storm showing up. But again, that is a classic hook-in signature. So what you're looking at with this, so north of Arlington, so you folks there, you've got winds that are coming in like this. What's going on then along the backside here is you get the rear flank downdraft. And so that's your rotation right in there, and it's going to be within that corridor a little north of Arlington where we are seeing that tornado warning. So again, that's a tornado warning for Madison County until 3:15. The storm likely again will pass just north of Richmond, but again, you've got the bypass here. So it's not far from the bypass at all. So I'm saying Richmond, I'm saying downtown Richmond toward EKU. But north side of Richmond and that whole area up along I-75, that area that's been developing so much. Again, Whitehall is going to be included in this. This is likely a storm that has a very distinct rotation to it. And as it moves across northern Madison County, you are looking at that potential to be a tornadic storm. Quick check on, again, plainly visible there. That's from the Louisville National Weather Service radar. So again, you're seeing toward and away. There's your tight rotation. And again, that's going to be just about a mile north of the bypass. Make sure I'm catching that. So again, right. Yeah, we're half a mile, almost a mile north of the bypass. So the folks there along I-75 are going to be seeing that come by as well. It's just put a skid out on this, so with that, we'll take a look at that and put a radar display back on for you. In fact, we'll bring the max back on. Give you that much more precise look. So there we go. So this is coming off the hail. Well, actually, instead of pulling off where that hail core is going to be, let's go ahead and pull it, if the storm is tornadic, where that's going to be. So it's going to be right in that notch there. And yeah, let's redo that one, because we dropped the button. One more time. Okay. So the storm again, north of the bypass, but just by about a mile or so. So you see some of the communities here. Union City, Doylesville, College Hill, Fox, Palmer, Iron Mound, Trapp, you're getting into southern part of Clark County. Whit Springs, Callaway Crossing. All these communities could be impacted by this potentially tornadic storm that is moving north of the bypass, but it's close to the bypass there in Richmond. So that's one tornado warning that we're looking at here. Again, we have others that we are talking about. So let's take it back to the storm in Boyle County. We've got 2 active tornado warnings, Madison County and also Boyle, Casey, Lincoln counties. West side of Lexington, you've got a storm coming in right now. It looks to be just a lot of heavy rain. You might get a wind gust 30 miles per hour out of it, but that at this point is not a severe part of this storm. We also have the severe thunderstorm warnings to the south. We'll hit these real quick for you. So it's Russell County. It is a severe thunderstorm warning until 3 o'clock. That cell is going to be impacting. Is that as severe with a torr possible?
Yes.
Okay, so that Russell County storm is torr possible?
Yes.
Okay. So again, that means that at this point, it's a situation where you are looking at the cell right now is a severe thunderstorm. It's in an environment where it can quickly spin up into a tornadic cell. And so that's one of the nomenclatures that the Weather Service uses. It's actually used to help eliminate some of the false alarms. Truthfully, on a tornado warning, the failure rate's about 70%. And that's just because they're so concerned about warning that they overwarn a little bit. So they've really upped the tornado possible verbiage that they put in these. But that's for Russell County. Move that right off there. That's Russell County until 3 o'clock, and that's going to be 2 o'clock Central Time for that storm in Russell County. For Wayne County, you were looking at that cell to be in effect until 3 o'clock for that severe thunderstorm warning, and also for Pulaski County until 3 o'clock. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. To the north of these, you have the tornado warning. So the tornado warning, the cells are approaching 127. For folks in Houstonville, Butchertown, you need to be in shelter from this. And again, you see how it's approaching 127. It is getting really close. Alum Springs, you guys need to be in shelter now. The storm is approaching Junction City. So anyone there between Danville and Houstonville on 127, you guys need to be in shelter now. Stanford, if you look to the west, your skies are darkening. You have time. Get to your safe spot. If you're in Alum Springs, you are out of time. Junction City, you need to be scampering to your safe spot now. For anyone there, southern Alum Springs, again, coming through, there's the updated sweep. That, right there by Alum Springs, we're seeing a little bit there. See how Louisville is picking this one up. And with that, we can do shear rate first. So it's showing the strong winds approaching Houstonville along the 127 corridor, straight up with the raw data near Alum Springs. So again, that's likely going to be a little east of there at this point. It's closer to 127. But again, Junction City is going to be really close to this. There's Junction City right in there. So again, Junction City, you guys, now, go. Get into that safe spot. Milledgeville, get into your safe spot. Moreland, down to Houstonville. The storms are approaching you pretty quickly, and you need to be getting to that safe spot at this point. Just to reiterate, we've got tornado warnings. That's going to be for Lincoln County until 3 o'clock. Boyle County until 3 o'clock, and the extreme northern part there of Casey County until 3 o'clock for our tornado warnings. When we say get to your safe spot, what are we talking about? Let's just show you more of an example here. Where do you go? Well, actually, where do you go one more time? There we go. in your house there. So we'll take the everything away, give you kind of a 3D look, a schematic here. Basement if you got it. Safest place you can go. Get into the middle part of your basement. If your house does not have a basement, you see all your rooms here. If you're doing this at home, where's your safe one? That one right there is the safest. It's in the middle of the house. You've got the tub in there. The plumbing in the walls can also act to help be parts of your protection. What's also here, if you got a small closet, that's okay. That's not a bad place to go. Same with that closet there, but this is a little safer one. The rooms that are on exterior walls, that's where you do not want to be. Those are the least safe options for you. So again, as you're preparing with these, for folks in Junction City, you're in your safe spot. Danville, you're doing your preps right now. Alum Springs, in your safe spot. Houstonville, in your safe spot. The 127 corridor, Moreland, again, same idea. You're in your safe spot. When we come back to the radar display for you. And with that, we'll give you the live look. So you got the storm passing by Alum Springs. Let's move that. Make that one go away. There we go. The storm is passing by Alum Springs. Might be a gust front shelf cloud running out ahead of that main line as it approaches Houstonville at this point. Blue Lick, Halls Gap, Stanford. Stanford, you've got 10 minutes, 15, think 10 to get to your safe spot as these storms approach. For Danville, it's likely going to pass just south of you, but again, you've got the bypass here on the south side of Danville. And so again, it's not that far away, what we're looking at here. So again, that needs to be the safe spot you need to get to. Even up to Center College there. Just think that the storm warning covers you as well at this point. Alum Springs, the storm is going over you now. Junction City, it's right on your doorstep and in fact likely impacting you at this point. We got other storms we're going to get back to in just a second. We got the Madison County storm as well. One more quick check on the velocity here. Diffuse there around Junction City. Okay, so there's storm 1. Let's take you now to the Madison County storm again. And with it, yeah, we've got circulation showing up with that. That one is, again, more of a classic look. So the storm is passing through northern Madison County here. Did it again. One more time, bring that back. All righty. We will just go ahead and do a simple box zoom. Theoretically, a simple box zoom. There we go. All right, so let's come into the storm. This one, again, is passing just north of Richmond. This is the one that has the classic supercell look to it. You can see the reds and the greens right next to each other here. So that, again, is a formidable storm that we are looking at this point. The storm is north and northeast of Richmond, north of Moberly at this point. If you're putting a track on this, look at that BTI number. Look at that. Remember how those were 2s and 3s? Few minutes ago, that is now up pushing 7. That is a rapid intensification. Union City, Doylesville, College Hill, Palmer, Fox, Mena, Iron Mound, Cressy, safe spots now. Trapp, again, getting into Clark County, Log Lick, Hargett, Whit Springs, again, over the next few minutes. So again, this is a tornadic storm, more than likely, and this is just to the north of Richmond. When we're looking how far north, so you got downtown Richmond inside the bypass there, about 4 miles to the northeast of Richmond. And it is moving northeast and away from Richmond at this point. But again, for you folks in northern Madison County, this is a tornadic storm. So you see College Hill, Bybee, Moberly. It's going to pass north of Moberly. It's north of Highway 52. So it would be your southern boundary on this. But there you see Doylesville. You see Fox and Cressy. I think at that point we're getting into Estill County. Let me expand that back out. So there's Estill County. So it's going right up there to the county line. So this one will be extended into Estill County before it all is said and done. So this is a tornado warning for Madison County, and that is in effect until 3:15. Let's go back to the max track on that, because that showed us the classic hook, and it's still there. So again, for this storm, Dan did it again. Getting a little too aggressive with the sweep down. So there's your tornado warning. You see the circulation there. What that circulation tells us is that the radar is picking up that shear, that gate-to-gate shear that we talk about. And so again, you're seeing that coming right through northern Madison County at this point with your tornado warning. And so there's your tornadic cell. And it's between, well, it's outside the bypass. It's south of Red House. It's headed toward College Hill. It's going through that rural area, Union City. You are certainly next up with this cell as it comes your way. So again, this storm likely is tornadic. This one has, again, the classic supercell look. You've got hail that's falling on the northern flank of this up around Doylesville. That's where you're seeing the black showing up there. So you're at least getting some larger hail with that. With the storm then, as it approaches Union City, this storm is, again, likely tornadic. When we can look at the shear rate, real quick on that. So again, it's showing it right about Union City on an updated display there. So that's about where we're looking at. So, but you got the red showing up. So now we're getting, again, strong indication of shear. Hail? Not showing any hail. Okay. And the new, okay, let's see why that shear rate is showing there on the southern flank. Because you're getting some redevelopment on the southern flank. So this right now is going along just north of Highway 52. You've got a stronger circulation over Union City. You also have a weaker but now establishing circulation on the southern edge of this. And keep in mind, this is untouched, moist, muggy air south of Highway 52. So with that tornado warning, Bybee, you are still included in the tornado warning. There's the big picture. That's actually your stronger cell at this point. But again, we may be getting some redevelopment on the south and western flank of that cell. So a tornado warning, that's, we'll get the tornado warning on there. Tornado warning for Madison County until 3:15. Bain, anything new?
Yet, but we did see that tornado warning. Part of it was canceled over near Lincoln County, as well as Boyle and Casey. Boyle and Casey no longer under that, just for right now, Lincoln County.
Right.
Still under that tornado warning.
All righty. So with that, we have, actually guys, you're gonna have to pull that off. Thank you. So come back to, we got 2 active tornado warnings. Madison County, that's a tornado warning until 3:15. You also have one for now just Lincoln County, and that storm for Lincoln County is in effect, let's bring it all the way up. That's going to be Lincoln County until, there, it's going to be 3:15. There it is. 3 o'clock actually for Lincoln County. Just saw a statement from the folks at the Weather Service that they're thinking strongly about adding now Garrett County into this. But at this point, Garrett County is not included, although there is a pretty strong circulation. Did it again. Showing up. Thank goodness for the home button. All right. Actually, on that update, it's not looking as strong as it was. But again, close to Stanford is where you're seeing at least some degree of shear ongoing with this cell. Tornado warning Lincoln County until 3 o'clock. Shear is approaching Stanford. So again, you folks there in Stanford, you guys need to be in your safe spot as it approaches Highway 27, near the intersection of 27 and 150 there in Stanford. That is where we're seeing this particular cell, and again, it's passed by Houstonville at this point. So I think you folks are okay at this point. Quick check in on just on the storm relative here.
And Bill, we do have another tornado warning that just got issued for Lee and Powell counties. That's until 3:30.
Okay. So we'll come back to the radar.
Up soon.
Again, that circulation looks to be weakening a little bit in Lincoln County, but we'll keep an eye on that one there around Stanford. So the new tornado warnings. And again, this is going to be downstream from the initial warning that we had up here in Madison County, but it's now been extended fairly broadly. Tornado warning until 3:30 for Estill. Tornado warning until 3:30 for Powell, and it clips the very northern part there of Lee County until 3:30. Truthfully, that's just, it was easier to draw that polygon than to draw that little bit. So you've got a while there in Lee County before the storms are getting to you. We're here at 2:53, and again, see the bright green, see the bright red. That is the strongest storm on the block at this point. I have to figure out why I'm doing that. So let's come in one more time here. I can hear the rain outside the TV station. It's the flip at the end that does it. So stop flipping at the end. So we'll give you the radar display here. And we'll come back in as a box zoom. And that's more efficient. So there you go. And again, it's a classic looking cell. You have the supercell characteristics with this. And in fact, on the MaxTrack Live, it was showing up vividly.
And Bill, we just got
Go
a
ahead.
couple more severe thunderstorm warnings for Jared, Lincoln, and Madison. That's going to be until 3:30, just an extension of that.
Okay.
And then also Clark County now until 3:30.
Okay. And I'm wondering if we just had, there we go. So again, here's MaxTrack Live. And you've got your strong cell. It's, okay, I think I got this figured out. You do this long enough, you're going to have little errors come in along the way. But again, as we come down into Madison County, eastern Madison County, you are under the tornado warning. There again, you've got the rotation showing up. So that's, again, the radar picking up the gate-to-gate shear. Northern part of Estill County, there is your tornado warning until 3:30. It goes into Powell County until 3:30 for that tornado warning. As you look down there by College Hill, this is where the storm is now. That storm, again, likely is a tornado producer at this point. And with it, you are looking at that just a hooking right in through here. Right there by College Hill is where we're seeing that display. Reds and the greens right in there. It's kind of getting lost in the clutter a little bit. Sometimes, thank goodness for a reset button. And again, for folks in Estill County, in Powell County, this is your tornado warning. We'll come back just to the live. You got anything new there, Bain?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
Still doing it now.
So there's College Hill. The storm is on top of you. It's passed by Union City. We're looking right down the cone right there into College Hill. That was a different look. Coming in, there's Iron Mound, Cressy, Viana, Hargett. So you're getting into Estill County with all that. And again, your tornado warning there is in place for Estill County until 3:30 and to Powell County as well. But College Hill, the storm is over you at this point. When we're looking at that storm as it was trying to get there near Bybee, it's passing north of Bybee. So again, it's College Hill at this point where we are looking at that particular cell and see if we can come in close enough and actually pick up some streets in here. College Hill Road. So again, very close to it. It's going to be a little north of Griggs Road, but again, you're looking right down the cylinder into College Hill at this point. So that is the cell that we continue to watch. The other tornado warning, now they've extended as a severe thunderstorm warning. For the tornadic storm that's been in Lincoln County, they have now extended it into Garrett County and southern Madison County, but they've extended it as a severe thunderstorm warning. So again, you've got your severe thunderstorm warning for Garrett, southern Madison there, including Berea, and the eastern part there of Lincoln County. That's the severe thunderstorm warning for Lincoln County until 3:30. So again, your tornado warning for Lincoln County will be expiring here in the next couple of minutes. So again, they've gone with a severe thunderstorm warning for that cell. So let's come back to the Madison County cell. And again, this one has all the characteristics of what you would expect a tornadic storm to look like at this point. So when we're looking at this, we'll go ahead and just put that easy track on there. Palmer, Iron Mound, Cressy, Viana, Loglick, Hargett, between now and 3:15. Powell Valley, 321. Clay City, 324 if it holds together with that. BTI has come down a little bit on that. It's back down to 4.9. So again, you click on either one of those skits and you get the same result. So the bottom line is the storm is still formidable and it still has every classic look of a tornadic storm. Your tornado warning there for Clark County, for Estill County, not for Clark County, for Estill County, the extreme eastern part there of Madison County and Powell County until 3:30. Sweeps coming by, so the data will change here. And again, when we're looking at that, again, very close to College Hill is where the hook is showing up with this particular cell. And that's going to clip areas north of Irvin at this point. Look like the storm is going more of an east track than a southeast. And hearing a lot of bings. Anything?
We're just getting that in Lincoln County, that tornado warning has expired a couple minutes early. And yep, that's about it for right now.
Okay. So as we sit now, and with it, let's go ahead and bring you the big picture. We've got the tornado warning there for Estill and Powell until 3:30. The Lincoln County warning is going to expire here at 3 o'clock. So it's this squall line as it continues pressing through. This is the big game in town. In Lexington, it's been hard rain. There's been maybe some wind gusts, 30 miles per hour-ish, but again, nothing severe in Lexington. The action is now generally, well, it is south of I-64. When we are looking around on here, your severe thunderstorm warnings, Rowan County until 3:15. You also have Perry County until 3 o'clock, so that one will be expiring here shortly. You also are looking at the storm that is down in the southern part of Pulaski County. That warning is also until 3. That one will be expiring here shortly. Let's see if these get extended out. The storm that's in Rockcastle and Jackson County is looking formidable, but it has no warnings on it. So let's get back into the tornado warned storm. Storm is well past Richmond. You folks in Richmond, you don't have that severe threat now. You do have a strong storm that's coming through. You see it through Fayette County, and now it's on the east side of Lexington, down to about Nicholasville there, going down Tates Creek Road, headed out toward Old Richmond Road at this point. That's just a thunderstorm. This is the tornadic storm that is near College Hill. It's near Cressy. It's, in fact, approaching Cressy now. For you folks there, you guys need to be in your shelter. It's very close to Fox. It's passing just north of Bybee. And it's headed on a path that will likely take it a little north of Irvin at this point, maybe getting close to Furnace. But Cressy would be the next community that would be most greatly impacted. So again, we're in the northern part there of Estill County, Hargett, Kimbrell. Again, you folks there, this is the storm that is headed your way. So let's again highlight the fact that that is the tornado warning for Estill until 3 o'clock. So with that storm, you see there the community of Fox. It's going to be clipping you and just north over the next couple of minutes. The storm is now, again, approaching Hargett. Here comes a sweep by again. So we'll get a little sweep on the data change. And again, we're kind of getting lost under the circle here. But that circle, again, is our way of highlighting that this is a storm that needs to be watched and watched exceedingly carefully because it likely has that tornadic cell in it. We can also go now, Jackson gets a different view of this, and we look at their shear rate. They're just looking at it from a different direction, and it can look coming kind of into it without having to go through a lot of other stuff. But you see, again, College Hill is where we're showing that at this point. So we've been highlighting College Hill here for you extensively as it is approaching Fox and Hargett, as you're just now crossing from Madison into Estill County. So again, for Madison County, you've got about another 2 minutes and the storm will be out of your county. But again, it's going to clip the northern part there of Estill, and Powell County, you guys are the next ones in line. So again, Estill County 3:30, Powell County until 3:30, technically Lee County until 3:30. We'll talk more about that as it gets a little closer, if it ends up on a path going that way. But at this point, it looks more of an easterly track at this point. When we're looking at the storm relatives on this, it's showing very close to Fox. Fox to College Hill, so again, maybe a little more south than what we were showing you just a second ago. There's the radar display. So it was showing shear over there by Fox, although the reflectivity is back more to the west. So you've got inflow certainly going in there. So the shear is certainly strong. The storm relatives, again, very close to Fox, straight up velocity, bright showing up there. So again, the wind that we're seeing off of this, just straight winds within the cell, 82 miles an hour. And that's likely from Jackson, probably going to be about 6,000 feet up that we would be seeing that. So again, that's some of that may be translating down to the surface. We're showing the storm by College Hill. So again, your times of arrival over the next 15, 20 minutes. Still showing Clay City and Stanton there, 3:25 to 3:30 if the storm continues to hold together. The radar display, again, this is coming out of Jackson, so we're shooting at it from this way, kind of shooting straight into it instead of having to come through other things to look at it. So likely getting some hail there north of College Hill to the east there of Doylesville, getting ready to cross the river there. Might clip the southern part of Clark County with some of that hail. Otherwise, that storm, and again, the BTI number continues to come down just a little bit. Max hail size, though, you're seeing that 1.75 inches. Now we're up to golf ball size hail as a potential out of this, with severe hail. That'd be 1 inch in diameter or larger, being an 80% chance. So again, this storm is likely a hailer now as it goes into northern Estill County, as it's exiting out of northern Madison County. So again, for Madison County, your warning, 315 with that, although the storm itself is likely just about out of Madison County. We'll go over to the max track here. See, that just gives us an extra resource. So there's your live look. And again, north of Fox, approaching Hargett, is where we're seeing the bulk of this. So again, when we're talking about how this storm structure works, when we're talking about the notching and rotation, the notching, by the way, is not as pronounced as it was. But it comes in like that, and there's your rear flank downdraft with the supercell. And again, this is the hail up here. But it's that rotation right in there that indicates the supercellular structure. And that's, again, where the tornadic part of the storm is going on. That's where it's going to be, and it's going to be just north of Fox. But again, Hargett is the next one in line. Kimbrell, you are right after that. So in hearing lots of bings, anything, just
we have
updates?
a new severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be for Casey and Russell counties. That's going to be until 3:30.
All right. So again, those are going to be straight line winds at this point. Tor possible?
Not as of right now. Just
Okay.
60-mile-per-hour winds, radar indicated for right now. And we could see an inch hail coming in too. So
right.
just be careful out there.
So there is the bigger picture here for you. Severe thunderstorm watch obviously still continues, although west of 127 at this point. For most of us here, it's going to be this will be it. This is the game that we're talking about here. Strong storm in northern Breathitt County. So one you have to keep an eye on, the tornadic storm that we're watching there. The other severe thunderstorm warnings you see at southern Madison, southern Garrett County, then back toward Jackson. That's a strong storm, but not listed as severe at this point. Same storm crossing Lake Cumberland there from Wayne into Pulaski County. Northern Russell County, that's a severe thunderstorm warning. That'll be until 2:30 Central Time for northern Russell County. The storm coming out of Adair County. That's also clipping then the southern part of Casey County with a severe thunderstorm warning until 3:30 there as well. For the storm that's in Burnside, again, you see the BTI number lower. That's the tornado index. It's lower. In fact, they've just lost the arrow off of that. So that storm near Burnside is headed off to the east right now. That is not severe. Give you the big picture, just again so you get oriented on everything. All that yellow you see, the bright yellow, that's a severe thunderstorm watch. Western part of this, severe threat is over. To the east, you still have extremely warm and muggy air for these storms to work with. So we've been seeing this flare up with the tornado warnings. That said, we've got a long way to go here before this line gets out. And again, it's got a lot of warm, humid air in front of it. So we would have every reason to think that a lot of this may be continuing here for a while. In Lexington, it may be raining really hard at your house right now. And you're thinking, why aren't we talking about that? Well, it's because that's not severe. It may be a nasty storm, but it's not severe. So let's take you into where we are talking about that severe weather. And we're now getting you out of Madison County. It's now fully, oh, you just saw the severe thunderstorm watch disappear back here. So we say it here, comes out there. The storm is out of Madison County. You folks are okay at this point. The storm is now in northern Estill County. And you can see the track of this is more due east than at that southern flank that we're looking at. So Kimbrell, you guys need to be in your safe spot now. That storm, hail at Cressy, we're seeing that black showing up there. That's where you're going to get the large hail from this. Palmer, you've got the large hail. Here comes the sweep around again. See how that hail core just moved from Palmer, again, a little closer to Cressy at this point. With that cell, again, you're seeing the times. BTI on this one, a little higher, back up to 5. So again, these things may be going through a little bit of a cycling. Kimbrell, the storm is on top of you. Hargett, the storm is on top of you. Sprout Springs, 319. Powell Valley, 324. Clay City, 327. So that's about 20 minutes from now. You get toward Fitchburg and Furnace after the 3:30 time frame. But that's all part of this tornado warning that's up there for Estill and Powell counties until 3:30. So you got Clay City and Stanton there. Vaughn's Mill, you are certainly in the path of this. Clay City, this may be more the hailer is coming towards you at this point. Verdon, the storm is passing to your south. But again, you're seeing Hargett there, and you're seeing that little bit of a notching right in there by Hargett. Let's see what the data does here. So again, you see that little bit of an update as it comes in there by Hargett. And it would be in this notching here between Kimbrell and Hargett that you're looking at that rotation. And you're talking a very small area here. So you're talking between Kimbrell and Hargett, a couple of miles. So that's the width of the rotation aloft at this point is a couple of miles. The hail core is separated from where the winds would be undergoing their shear. So again, Madison County, you all are done. There, we got an easy skid to hit here, right there in the sweet spot, right in the middle. And so Kimbrell again now. Sprout Springs 314, Stanton 327, Fitchburg 328. Furnace 329. Bowen, you're getting now into the more eastern parts there of Powell County. 336, BTI sitting at 5. So again, a fairly high number. The hail size, 1 3/4 inches. So this is still capable of golf ball sized hail. And again, the hail is going to be north of where the rotation center is. So your hail core is between Kimbrell and Cressy. It's in this area here. That's going to be your hail core. Between Kimbrell and Cressy. If the storm is tornadic, it's going to be in this area between Hargett and Kimbrell. So again, that's your structure on this supercell type storm as it's in northern Estill County. Again, you can see we are well north of Irvin at this point. So again, just to give you a little orientation, because again, some of the folks, we don't talk about these communities much. So again, Irvin, Ravenna, down here to the south. So to where we're talking here is about 6 miles to the northwest of Irvin is where we're seeing, if this storm is tornadic, that's where it's going to be at this point. Here comes a sweep around again. We can go ahead and, with that, show you the shear rate off that one. I'm curious as to see where this is. We'll pull it off of Jackson, off the NexRad. And there they're showing it. Showing it as not overly strong at this point. It's in the high end of the weak category. That said, these are the type of storms, again, if you've seen the pictures over the last couple of weeks, they have been magnificent tornadoes out in the plains. I mean, there's stuff that's textbook meteorology, but they are these gigantic storms. What we've got going on here, if these are tornadic, much smaller by comparison. That said, if you get hit by this, the damage can be, your life can change in 30 seconds with these storms. That's why we have to take every one of these tornado warnings seriously. So you got the storm there between Kimbrell and Hargett, and the storm is heading off to the east. Again, the hail core showing up pretty vividly. The BTI number has come down just a little bit here. But again, look at that hail core. So again, just to reiterate for you, when you're looking at the structure, you're thinking, oh gosh, this is the worst part of the storm. This has got to be where the tornado is. No, that's not how it works. The northern flank here, this is all hail. I mean, it's also really heavy rain, but that's also where the storm is producing hail. If you are in the tornadic path of the storm, it may not even be raining on you at this point because you're in that notching right in here. That's just to the east there of Hargett. And so right around Kimbrell, down to Hargett, headed toward Vaughn's Mill. And it's not far from the Estill and Powell County lines at this point. But again, that's how the storm setup is. You've got the inflow going in here, winds coming around the backside, and that is what sets up the rotation that can drop down very quickly, but then also come up very quickly. These things may only be on the ground a minute or two, but the rotation is remaining out there. When we look at the storm relative, it's showing actually more to the south, but there wasn't much going on there. So, at least not at this point, because when we look at the, right up there, it's showing there, right, it's still an intensive notch going right in there by Hargett at this point. So that's what we were looking at. That may be more of a gust front coming out here toward Callaway Crossing. But again, what we're looking at is out here by Hargett, by Kimbrell for that cell. Now we go back to Max Track.
And And Bill
Go ahead.
just, ended up getting another severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be for Jackson and Rockcastle. This is going to be until 4 o'clock. It's that storm that was just leaving Lincoln County right now. So as of right now, there's no tornado possible, but that could change. So I'll keep you posted on that.
Thank you very much, Bane. All righty, 3:15. So let's go ahead and give you a quick reset. Here's the big picture. You've got the tornado warning. That's not far from where the warm front is, truthfully. Real quick, Bane, find out where that low center is at this point. Just do it off the mesonet or whatever. Where the low is, where that warm front. Check the dew points, where the warm front is. If I were betting, because that'll help also us determine, I'm betting the low is going to be somewhere right around here.
Yep, you're exactly right, Bill.
Oh,
it's right in that area. We're kind of seeing it just kind of south of Lexington right now. It's
warm
right
front,
in that
cold
area.
front.
Yep.
So north and west of this line, Lexington, Nicholasville, Danville, Campbellsville, done. Okay, severe weather threat is over. North of the warm front, a lot of rain. Harrison County. Get up toward Robertson County, Nicholas County, rain. You've had the severe storm warnings earlier. We just pop that back up again. Let's see if we can make that go away. There we go. So again, the northern area, north of 64, this is basically just going to be rain at this point. Close to that warm front, along I-64, you still could get a severe thunderstorm warning. Ahead of the cold front, and that's going to be almost to I-75 at this point, but then arcs back toward Lake Cumberland. Still severe weather threats, and you can see the severe thunderstorm warnings. You see the red flashing, okay? That's where we've got the greatest shear available. So that's where we're seeing warm front, cold front, area of low pressure. This is providing lots of shear to work with off of that really unstable air that we were highlighting earlier. And so that's why this northern flank storm is the one that's continued with the tornado warning, which, by the way, Powell, Estill County. Down here to the south, these are certainly very strong thunderstorms. You have damaging wind gust potential. In fact, that's likely a bow echo. Truth be told, you look down here by Broadhead, that's going to be something we'll keep an eye on here. Right now, it's a severe thunderstorm warning for Rockcastle County and for Jackson County until 4 o'clock. Southern Madison County there at Berea, 3:30 for that severe thunderstorm warning. So again, we're going to keep an eye on that cell that's north of Mount Vernon there, between going up 150, Mount Vernon to Broadhead, back toward, it's past Crab Orchard at this point, Roundstone area, seeing that cell. Just because, again, it's not totally linear. There's notching going on. So there are dynamics that are coming into play with all this. So we'll keep an eye on that. What we also have to do, though, is focus on the tornado warning. And that tornado warning is northern Estill County and just about all of Powell County. The storm itself now is north central Estill County. So with it, you see it's passing north of Urban. It's likely going to, the tornadic part's going to be close to Stanton, but probably just south. But you know what? Don't chance it. Get to your safe spot. Don't worry about trying to go get video of these storms. By the way, it's also really tough to do in Kentucky. A lot of these storms will be rain wrapped, so you don't see much. But for that storm, just to again show you, Irvin, not in the warning. The storm is now due north of Irvin. It's really now beginning to cross, still maybe a little bit in Estill County, but now really more southern Powell County at this point. Storm is still producing hail. Sweep's going to come by here from the max track. And again, there's your hail, there's your hooking. So again, this storm still has potential to be a tornadic storm, and that's why you have severe thunderstorm warning for Powell County and for Estill County until 3:30. When you're wondering what to do, again, we'll just show you this again. We'll show you the sea duck again just to talk about it. In mobile home, first of all, you can't be in a mobile home. It just is not a safe place to be. Find a permanent structure. Hopefully you've done this. We've talked to the kids. Actually, they don't have school today because it's election day. But we've talked, every Bill's Weather 101 is when the weather is calm, talk to mom or dad. You don't want to be going around the house panicking when your warning is issued for your county. So if you've thought about it beforehand, you know what to do. So for folks that are in Stanton, for the folks that are in Powell County, this is the sea duck. And again, you don't panic. You use the knowledge here to stay calm. Close your interior doors. You want to be downstairs, basement if you got it, lowest level if you don't. Get under something big, heavy, and sturdy, something that can protect you from the stuff that flies around. Be in the center part of your house. Use the walls of your house as layers of protection. Think of it as like blockers in football. And then keep away from windows and doors where you can have flying glass. Keep a helmet nearby if you can as well. Now, if you're in Madison County, the storms have passed by you. If you're in Urban and Ravenna, the storms are north of you, at least at this point. If you're in Knowlton, the storms are coming towards you. Furnace, the storms are coming towards you. Stanton, you got the hail coming towards you. Bowen, you're going to be close. Vaughn's Mill, you are likely seeing hail at this point. Clay City, looks like the worst of the storms are now to your south and east. It's going to be closer, but it's right there along the Mountain Parkway. Again, near Vaughn's Mill, near Knowlton is where we're seeing this. So let's go ahead and give you a look at some of the velocities here again. This, again, is a tornado warning. Powell County until 3:30, northern Estill County until 3:30. With this, Jackson, let's look at the storm relative first. It's showing it more south than what the radar display would lead you to think it is at this point. At the very least, this is looking at Jackson's velocity display. So that still may just be a little bit of a gust front out in front, because again, if there's any rotation right now, it's going to be south of Vaughn's Mill, at least what we're seeing with this. And maybe that's a little bit better display, because instead of taking the storm relative, this is looking at regular velocity. And so again, you've got the reds and the greens in close proximity, although it's your counterclockwise spin right in there. So yeah, a little south of Vaughn's Mill with that particular display, the shear rate. And again, that's taking just some algorithms. This is a proprietary product that our Barron radar has. So again, Vaughn's Mill, you're seeing the shear right around there. So that's where we're focusing on, not the stuff that's a little bit further to the south. As the storm has moved, you can see the swath as it came out of Madison County and is now making its way across Powell and northern Estill County. Do we picking up any hail? There we go. So again, Sprout Springs coming up now on Vaughn's Mill. This will be advancing eastward with time. So this runs a little bit behind. But again, you're seeing the large hail potential with that storm as well. So there's the Jackson radar. We'll bring you back to the max track. We'll get you up right to current. So again, Vaughn's Mill, you've likely got the hail going. Same thing here that we're showing. The look isn't quite as impressive as it was. I was about to say not as impressive as it was, but still, there's at least a minor degree of hooking. This is not done yet, but the storms also go through cycles. And it's also getting into a little bit rougher terrain. So we've gotten into that first wave of hills, and storm circulations in general don't like that. There are exceptions to every rule, as we found out so horrifically in 2012 with the storms that went through West Liberty and Salyersville and East Bernstadt. But right now you're looking at the cells as they're getting into the hills there of Powell County and Estill County. There's still a circulation here. It's not as sharp as it was. You're still getting large hail potential. That's now approaching Stanton at this point. And the storm is working its way, getting closer toward, say, the gorge and out that direction. So that's what we're looking at with that particular cell. We'll see the data come here one more time as the sweep swings. You've still got at least a very broad circulation right in here. So Furnace, Knowlton, safe spots now. And it's, you know, I've been out here now an hour and a half, and we said it at the beginning, haven't said it in a while. Tornado warning does not mean you go out with the cell phone camera on your front porch, okay? It's not the thing to do. You want to be safe. Unless you really are confident how these storms are moving and the structure of these storms and the dynamics that are involved, you don't mess with this. You just get to your safe spot. But again, as we look at this cell, as it's coming in, again, Vaughn's Mill, you probably got some hail. Furnace, we're right at the Powell-Estill County line. So you got Furnace Junction. Some of these 59-year-old eyes don't read that well. But, yeah, it sure goes away. That's, Bane, can you read that?
I see that too.
Horton Road.
What does it
Yeah.
Hardwick's Creek,
Yeah. Well,
I think it says.
Darrell Randall Road. You guys are again in this, and again we're highlighting Knowlton here. So it's something Creek.
And Bill, I want to jump in here just to let you know there is a severe thunderstorm warning coming in for Laurel and Pulaski County. That's going to be until 4 o'clock. That system looks like it's just on the edge of Russell County right now. So it's going to be moving into Pulaski and also into Laurel over the next couple of minutes here.
All right. Thank you, Bane Froney. So again, we've highlighted Knowlton here. Again, there's your tornado warning. Let's go ahead and bring this back all the way out. So there again is your setup. You've got your squall line progressing eastward. Near the apex of the cold front and warm front of the junction where they come together with that area of low pressure, that's your greatest shear. That's where your tornado warning continues. You're looking at a severe thunderstorm warning that's exiting out of Letcher. That's actually out of Harlan County. But you've got a solid line now of severe thunderstorm warnings that run from Mount Vernon, there in Pulaski or Rockcastle County through Jackson County. You're seeing that cell. Southern part of Madison County, that one's expiring in 6 minutes. We go then into the new ones. Laurel County until 4 o'clock, Pulaski County until 4 o'clock, and then you get into Russell County. That'll be 2:30 Central Time for the Russell County warning. So those are your current severe thunderstorm warnings. The severe thunderstorm watch has been canceled essentially from 127 west. Lexington still included, although the severe weather threat, the storm threat has ended for Lexington as well. Strong storms are getting ready to come into Clark County. Excuse me, another batch of strong storms, not severe, northern Madison County. The tornadic storm is, again, we were talking about how this was near, you've got an area of low pressure. Again, talking about how the structure of this works. The area of low pressure is sitting right about over Lexington, or very close to it at this point. So you've got your low pressure here, your warm front comes up this way toward I-64, and you've got just shear. You've got rotation available in the atmosphere that these storms can tap. And the closer you are to that shear point, the greater the shear that's available, the more stuff you have to work with. That's why as you go away down to the south, away from that parent low, it's more of a straight line wind threat. Can you still get a spin-up tornado? Sure. It's a possibility with those bowing segments. But in terms of having an actual supercell like we saw come across Madison County and Estill County, the atmosphere is not really primed to do that unless the storms develop well ahead of that main line, which we've been keeping an eye on some of those for you. So as we come in to Powell County, again, you look there to Knowlton and Furnace. You guys are in the path of this storm right now. It's south of Stanton. So again, in Stanton, you're going to get hail, you're going to get heavy rain, you're going to get the lightning. We haven't put the lightning on here in a while. How are we doing with that? There we go. It's kind of, there's not really concentrated any one area on the lightning, which is one of the other things we would be looking for at this point. But Furnace and Knowlton, this is where we're talking at this point with the storm. And again, it's in that notching that's between Furnace and Knowlton where the greatest threat would be. But again, anywhere within this area, you were looking at that's where the mesolow is. That's where your wall cloud is. That's where the rotation's happening. And again, you can drop that tornado anywhere within in that notch. Go ahead.
They just extended that tornado warning for Breathitt, Estill, Lee, Menifee, Powell, and Wolfe counties. That's all going to be until 4:15. So they're getting ready for that to move a little bit further east. All
right. If you would be so kind as to go relay to the newsroom that we're on till 4:15.
Yes, I will go do that.
Okay. So with that, we'll give you back out here in a second. BTI is sitting at 4, so again, still a pretty hefty number. You see the communities that are impacted here. Slade at 343 as you're going from Powell into Wolfe County. Torrance at 350, Pine Ridge 353, High Falls 357. So again, that's the cell that we continue to track out here for you. All righty, let's go back and bring this out big, and then we'll come back in small. So here's your big picture again. And with it, you can see anything west of Lexington, it's fine. North of Lexington, fine. North of 64, heavy rain there in eastern Kentucky. Going south on 20 or on 75 from Lexington, you do have heavy rain, and there are sporadic severe thunderstorm warnings. And you can see that there's a bowing going into or taking place here. When we're talking about that, It didn't quite catch it. Let's try it one more time. There we go. You see right through in here. That is what we're talking about with the bowing going on. So you've got a damaging wind threat certainly ongoing within that. What is likely going on in the big picture is that there is some low-level jets that are trying to come in and bow that front end out. And so you can translate some of that down to the surface, and that's where you get the damaging wind threat. Straight line, but again, 70-mile-per-hour straight line, 70-mile-per-hour spinning, do the same damage. So with that, your new tornado warnings. And again, there's a good clustering of lightning. So again, as we come in, you can see that in the cell. And actually, when you look at it in a little bit bigger picture here, it does still have a pretty impressive look to it. So again, you're still in a supercell mode with this particular cell. It is south of Stanton, headed then now toward the real hilly terrain there as we get further into eastern Kentucky. So the communities that are going to be warned with this, Powell County, that's now until 4:15. Wolfe County, until 4:15. Northern part of Lee County until 4:15. Lee County is just going to, I think, get scraped by this. There's a new skit that popped up. BTI's dropped a little bit, so again, that's one of the things we'll watch. These storms will pulse. They will go through cycles. This has actually looked like it's gone through a little bit of an organizing cycle here, where we've been seeing, again, that better structure beginning to show up. But again, Knowlton and Furnace, it's over you now. You get over to Nada, that's 344, Slade 345, Glencairn 348, Torrent 351, Pine Ridge 354, Booth 355. Hail size down to an inch, so quarter size, still severe, a little bit less than what we were showing you before as the storm continues to go through its various cycles. It's showing a lot of gate-to-gate shear up to an 80-mile-per-hour spinning potential out of this particular cell. So again, that's what we continue to watch for you.
And
go ahead.
Bill, I do want to mention that we just got another severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be for Clay, Leslie, Owsley, and Perry. That's going to be until 4:15. Tornadoes are going to be possible. Nothing right now, but 60-mile-per-hour winds have been indicated via radar. And it looks like we also have another severe thunderstorm warning over in Harlan and Letchers County. That's a little bit further away.
So here we go. The initial tornado warning there for Powell County just was allowed to expire, so the warning that was up, the initial one has expired. We also got Estill County into that warning. So it's going to clip that northern part there of Estill County until 4:15. You've got a good thunderstorm back there, Winchester into northern Madison County, not severe. So again, the storm has now passed by Knowlton. It's passed by Furnace. It's getting out towards Slade, and they're along the Mountain Parkway. With that particular cell, you again are still showing a nice hooking going in right through here. It'll pass close to Pilot at this point. But again, you're in some pretty rugged terrain out here. High Rock Road is a pretty good one on that. You see Sand Lake Road would be in the path of this, and then eventually toward the Mountain Parkway, right about at Slade is where we would be seeing that potential for the storm to be coming on in. As the sweep goes by, you saw things change. We'll show you what the Jackson radar has on this. Getting a little closer to them at this point. First off, on the storm relative, come down a little bit, showing this, that rotation, a lot of greens showing in, mixed in within the red there around Pilot. When you look at just straight up velocity, not much with that. Shear rate, again, the algorithms within our radar. Pop that in there, trying to. There we go. Actually not showing much of anything on that. It's showing up more along the Mountain Parkway. So there's a bigger picture for you with the cells there. East now of Stanton, getting into southern Powell County. Put the radar on for you. But again, that's still showing some really good structure in there. It's a little broader, but still good structure with that cell that's northern Estill, extreme northern Estill, and coming into southern parts of Powell County. So that's part of your tornado warning. When we look at the rest of the line down here to the south, again, these is straight line winds. Let's box zoom it. And with that, focus there just a little bit. So you've got some bowing going on here. This is interesting. So this going right up 421 there, coming out of Madison County, right through in there. North of McKee, you've likely got damaging wind gusts potential with that. And again, that's how a little jetlet's kind of coming in there and bowing that out. So you're seeing the strong straight line winds from that. As we come to the south, same idea. It's gone through with heavy rain there in Mount Vernon. There's still been some strong winds, certainly with that. But again, you've got a little bit of a bowing going right through in there. That's going to get into the northern part there of Laurel County. Around Livingston, seeing that at this point, that's going to be headed toward East Bernstadt. We take this even further to the south, where you do have your severe thunderstorm warnings again for Laurel County and Pulaski County until 4 o'clock. Right now, you've got that strong storm sitting over Somerset, continues back toward Nancy. But that's pushing now more toward Lake Cumberland at this point. Interesting here, you've got an energetic cell sitting down here all by its lonesome. See that one down here? That's likely going to be moving up this way as the line comes in this way. So we're going to watch this area over the next 15 minutes and see if anything develops out of that between Somerset and London. So that's going to be not too far from maybe Shopville, but maybe a little bit closer to the Laurel-Pulaski County line. Cell mergers at this point is something you have to watch for. So again, that's just an interesting feature to look at there. So again, let's take you back to the big. And again, you see the one tornado warning that remains in place. In fact, let's go ahead and bring the live radar on here. In case you're wondering when I'm back here working, yes, I talk to myself at the same time like I'm doing out here right now. That said, you got the tornado warning for Powell County. You've got still showing a pretty good structure here. So again, it's past Stanton. You folks in Stanton, you folks in Clay City, you guys are fine. Storm has passed you. It's probably pretty close to Bowen at this point. No, it's a little south of Bowen. But over Pilot, headed right towards Slade. So again, it's headed right toward the exit there off the Mountain Parkway. So that's going to head toward Glencairn. You folks in Pilot, again, you've got the storm very close to you. Knowlton, Furnace, we've talked about you a lot. Storm has passed you by at this point. So you guys are done, hopefully no damage anywhere. Hopefully this is all aloft at this point. Have we, anything on Twitter, anything?
Yes, we're getting a couple of storm reports as of right now. So right now there is reports of trees down near Red House Road. This is in Madison County. Yeah. And we also have a couple of reports in Lincoln County. Looks like we have a couple of trees and power lines down near Danville Avenue, between Portman Avenue and Maxwell Street. So if you can, avoid those areas.
That was Danville Avenue in which county? Was that Boyle?
This is in Lincoln County.
Okay.
And then we also have, just a couple of trees down in those areas as of right now.
Okay. So again, straight line or tornadic, because that was part of that tornadic storm, it doesn't matter. There's damage either way. So with the storm that's headed out of Powell County, BTI numbers is back high again. You see it back up to 7. So again, the storm is going through another pulsing up. As we continue to watch it all, the hail size has decreased, now below severe weather thresholds on that. But again, the tornadic index, the BTI, has gone up. But again, you see Slade at 339, Glencairn at 342, Pine Ridge 348, Vortex 4 o'clock, Trent 404, Tolliver 405. So that's about a half hour from now. But again, it's now past Pilot, but it's now on a path towards Slade. And again, at this point, you notice there's not a lot of the blacks that were showing up earlier. So again, not the hail producer that it was a little bit ago. With that said, you still have some pretty impressive rotation going on with this, and with that reason, the warnings do continue. And again, the structure, again, it pulses up and down. And so we were seeing one of those increases that have been ongoing here over the last little bit. There's your update coming in. And with that, so again, showing there's your shear rates right in on approaching Slade at this point. You folks there, we've talked about your safe spot, and you need to be there. The velocities, you got the greens and reds, but it's again not a completely impressive look on this. So there may be some weakening now as it is getting into the higher terrain, but that said, this still has the good structure available to it that we're seeing. We just get a new severe thunderstorm warning pop up south.
Yep, Laurel and Pulaski, that's going to be until 4 o'clock.
Okay. Just saw the colors change
And tornado is possible with that storm as well.
Okay, you're seeing the lightning with that. Oh, make that go away. So that's the new severe thunderstorm warning. We're talking Clay, Leslie until 4:15, Leslie until 4:15, Perry until 4:15 with that. The tornado warning actually does also technically clip Breathitt, but I think the storm is going to end up passing north of there. Bring the radar back on. So with that, again, you've got the storms that are eastern Powell County. So again, it's approaching Slade. It's approaching that exit off of the Mountain Parkway. So you folks there need to be in shelters, and it's all severe thunderstorm warnings from there south. And these different little bowing segments that you see, these notches that are within, it's not just one solid straight line, you know, notch there, notch there, notch there. Those are all potential severe thunderstorms with that. And you got, again, that individual cell that I'm just a little worried about there in the northern part there of McCreary, southern part of Pulaski. Look at the lightning intensification with this. How much lightning are we seeing with that severe cell? We've got, within that one, total strikes 212, well, about 100 some strikes around Island City, northern part of Clay County, that severe thunderstorm. So again, impressive lightning display, certainly ongoing. Lightning does not make the storm severe, by the way. It's only the wind, hail, or tornado threats that do that. You've got severe thunderstorm warning for Lee County and for Owsley County until 4:15 as well. Southern part of Estill County, severe thunderstorm warning till 4:15. Then we get back into the tornado warning, which still, it's trying, but again, it's not necessarily in the most favorable environment at this point. Showing the shear up there along the Mountain Parkway. Nothing on the storm relative really, or on just the straight velocities either. At least nothing particularly stands out. But we still have the tornado warning, and this thing could pulse right back up again. Tornado warning until 4:15 for Wolfe County, Powell, eastern Powell County, extreme northern Lee, northern corner there of Breathitt. So with your tornado warning in place, MaxTrack Live. We hit the live yet? Can't tell, maybe. There is MaxTrack Live. All right. Again, it's not quite the same structure as that we were seeing before, but with that said, there's still a lot of energy and a lot of shear available. For you folks there in Campton, you guys need to be in your safe spot at this point. There's Glencairn, there's Rogers. As you look over into Wolfe County, the storm is very close to Slade at this point. Passing, and it's very close to the Mountain Parkway at this point as well. Your sweep comes by. Again, we don't have quite the notching that we did earlier, but still there's a little something going on. It looks like some hail at this point, pretty much right on Slade. And as the storm, you see Campton, it's going to be very close to Campton as it heads off to the east. Let's get the right warning on there. There's tornado warning till 4:15. For Lee County, this particular cell I think is going to pass north of you. I think you guys are okay, and I think the same idea for Breathitt County on this. This is now eastern Powell and Wolfe County storm, and that's why we focus on these particular ones. But again, it's basically on top or very close to Glencairn at this point. Rogers, it's going to be coming really close to you, just moving there along the Mountain Parkway. So again, it's in that high terrain. Storms don't necessarily like that, but storms can also overcome that. So something just to keep in mind. Before we swing by, I'm seeing if there's any change. What we're looking at with that is how, at least at this point, it's a little more linear. There's a little bit of notching, but not like it was. And so that's a sign that maybe there's not quite the same rotation involved at this point. That being said, it can still pick it up again, because how many times have we seen this cell go through cycles where it pulses up, it looks impressive, comes back down again. And even if this is a tornadic producer, it may only be doing it for a minute or 2 minutes at a time. And so that's part of the cycles that it goes through. So with all that, we're set for Jackson. It's got a little closer view. Again, it's getting a little more ragged appearance. This is even from the Jackson radar, so we're not far at all from the Jackson radar. There's the Jackson radar site. You can see the By the way, if you've ever seen the movie Twister and they talk about the cone of silence, that is the cone of silence. It's not what they talk about in the movie. That said, you got something, Bane?
We did get a couple of reports about nearly 500 customers are without power in Madison County.
Okay.
But other than that, we still have those trees down, those power lines down. So if you're for some reason out driving, see that, turn around, don't go near it. Make sure you, or at least find a different way to get home, because you never know with those power lines. Those can be really dangerous.
Yeah, just for points, and thank you for that, by the way. You're 20 miles away from the radar, so it's getting a really good look at the radar, at this storm from the Jackson site. You know, so it's looking straight into this, and with nothing obstructing. And so what you're seeing there is, again, a little more ragged appearance around Slade and Glencairn. Still could produce a tornadic spin up, certainly could. Has some hail with it along the Mountain Parkway, but not as impressive as it was earlier either. So that's that cell, which we will continue to keep an eye on here. With that, let's take a look at the cells that are to the south. So again, we've got potential damaging winds. That would be the primary severe weather threat from these cells down here. And with that, you got McKee and Anvil. There's 421. Severe thunderstorm warnings there. Severe thunderstorm warning until 4:15. And that until 4:15 for Jackson County. Also, as you look, I'll hit the warning. Laurel County, not all of Jackson's in the severe thunderstorm. Laurel County until 4 o'clock for that particular cell. That's going to also be Pulaski County until 4 o'clock for that severe thunderstorm warning. As we come off to the east, go ahead.
Get a couple more popping up here. Severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be in Knox, Laurel, and Whitley County until 4:30.
We'll get that one here in a sec. You've got the severe thunderstorm warning for Owsley until 4:15. That also hits Perry County until 4:15. Northern Leslie County until 4:15. Catching a little bit of Clay County there until 4:15. That cell, you see the communities that will be impacted by it. It's got a relatively high BTI, so we'll keep an eye on this. But you see the communities here over the next 15 to 30 minutes that will be impacted by that cell as it comes out of southern Owsley County. So the new severe thunderstorm warning, let's get rid of, try and make that go away. There we go. Let's get to the new severe thunderstorm warning. You said Knox and Whitley?
Yep. As well as kind of the south
Southern
of
Laurel.
Yep.
All right, for this cell here. So low BTI. So this is just primarily a straight line wind threat at this point. But you see the communities that will be impacted here over the next 15 to 30 minutes. Hail size up to about a quarter. Bottom line with it is that it's still in a really unfavorable environment. It's in a warm, moist environment here where it can still continue to show some shear and some spin. So we're going to see if that joins them, and it's off by itself. That's one of the things that you always look for. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But that, again, severe thunderstorm warnings for Knox until 4:30, for Laurel until 4:30, and the northern part of Whitley until 4:30. As we come back north, again, you see the strong storms likely there near Anvil. Gone past McKee at this point, past Sand Gap. So you guys are okay. Strong storm near Irvin, not, well, the severe part may be the southern part of Estill County, where you are looking at a severe thunderstorm warning until 4:15 with it. That does also hit the western part of Lee County until 4:15. We get back into the tornado warning now. And with that, you're seeing the structure on this. If there was tornadic, it was going to be in this area right in here. Again, looking a little more ragged than it has been, which is good. And it's right over Glencairn. You got the skit there by Slade. Again, BTI numbers come down. So that, again, a good sign. Hail sizes come down considerably with this. But you see some of the communities, Campton 403, Stillwater 408, Hazel Green 415 with that cell. So again, lots of stuff going on with that. So again, that's the tornado warning, 4:15, still in Powell County, but you're at the Wolfe County line. Don't worry about the Lee County aspect with that. and then we get into Wolfe County until 4:15. So that's got another half hour to go. So yeah, that's a long period tornado warning. So we'll see if that one, if they're going to hold that the whole time. What's I was focusing on here is how this area is beginning to bow out. So we might be having a little bit of a conflict going on there where it's not in its own environment anymore, maybe running away from the best shear. So we'll keep an eye on that. But again, still, that's a tornado warning until 4:15 for Wolfe County, as well as the very eastern part of Powell County. Big picture, again, showing you how Lexington, our weather's done. I mean, we have nothing to worry about for the rest of the day today. Jessamine County, anything from I-75 there, north and west. You get north of Berea, and we're done. West on I-75, again, west of Berea, the weather threat is over. So as we talked about earlier, the threat ended up being earlier in the day than later. Tornado warning continues like something just expired down in Clay County. So you got your clustering of severe thunderstorm warnings off here to the east. You've also got one that snuck in here coming out of the extreme eastern part there of Breathitt County. So there's a severe thunderstorm warning for Floyd County and northern Breathitt. Looks like part of Magoffin until 4:15. Yes, Bane?
I was just going to let you know that that's what was going on. So, yep, till 4:15.
There we go. And thank you, Bane. So the storm's still near Campton. They've extended the severe thunderstorm. What's the timing on that severe thunderstorm warning compared to the tornado warning in Wolfe?
In Wolfe County, let's double check that. We have that until 4:15, and that.
When was it issued?
That was issued at 3:48.
At what time?
3:48.
3:48. And what time was the tornado? So that's brand new.
Yes, that's a fresh one that's coming through.
So I'm wondering if they're going to pull the tornado warning here. They haven't done it yet.
Not quite yet. I'm going to double check when that tornado.
And so you've got that severe for Wolfe until 4:15, northern Breathitt until 4:15. The only reason I'm saying it doesn't make any sense to extend a severe thunderstorm warning outside of a tornado warning box and not even extend it by that far, unless they're thinking about changing the nomenclature on this. So we'll have to wait and see, because right now it still is an official tornado warning that's there for Wolfe County until 4:15. Powell County, you guys are in the clear at this point.
And that tornado warning for Breathitt, Estill, Lee, Menifee, Powell, Wolfe just got canceled.
There we go.
So there you go.
So Bane, since that is the last active tornado warning, go tell the news folks that they may have a show at 4 o'clock.
Perfect.
I'll take this till 4. Sorry you guys are missing Dateline. But I'll take this till 4. You don't want to see just the end anyway. So we'll take this until 4 o'clock unless another tornado warning comes out. So here we go. 3:51. They saw the tornado warning disappeared. And with that, we have a severe thunderstorm warning now. That is up in Wolfe County until 4:15. Let's make this bigger here. Hand tracking here is interesting stuff. So anyway, Wolfe County until 4:15. That also clips the northern part of Breathitt County until 4:15. Breathitt County, you have not one, not two, you've got 3 separate severe thunderstorm warnings. So there's your one till 4:15, northern Breathitt County. As we look then to the east, you have a severe thunderstorm warning in Breathitt County, also until 4:15. That also clips Magoffin County until 4:15, Floyd County until 4:15 as well. And if you're tracking that particular cell, that one has a relatively low BTI, but look at the hail size. 1.75, that's golf ball size. 80% chance that could be a pretty good hailer for folks there in eastern Breathitt County, and you see some of the communities that are involved with it. So there's another one of your severe thunderstorm warnings in Breathitt County. We've got another one as we go to the southern part of Breathitt County. You're at the northern flank of a cell that's really more in Perry County, but that's Breathitt also until 4:15. But that one also has Perry County until 4:15 and also Leslie County until 4:15. But that cell, again, straight line winds will be your primary severe weather threat. Ping pong ball size hail, 1.5 inches. A little lesser hail threat cloud top on that one's 40,000 feet. So that's a big storm. And that's updated now as it's approaching Buckhorn. So you folks there. And again, what's interesting to see with it, how it's likely also a damaging wind threat as we come in closer, how quickly you go from basically nothing to a whole lot. And it's on that line right there. We're going to likely see a shelf cloud coming out as well. But that's where you're going to see your strong winds. That's passed by Buckhorn at this point. Gaze Creek, Krypton, and you guys are going to see that storm coming your way here over the next little bit. We have other severe thunderstorm warnings, not just Breathitt County. We've got them all along the southern flank of this line. It's kind of hard to keep track of where all of these are because they're basically overlapping at this point. So you've got Lee County. There's Lee County till 4:15. Estill County, Jackson County till 4:15. Estill County until 4:15. Rockcastle County, you guys, that storm's done with you. Don't worry about that one. It's passed by you. You've got that strong storm, southern part of Jackson County, right over Anvil at this point. Strong winds are likely now just to the east of Anvil, but you've got a pretty strong storm in progress. But again, with all these little notches, you got to watch for any little spin-ups that still can occur. Laurel County until 4:30. Clay County until 4:30. We go even farther south. Whitley County, 4:30. Knox County, 4:30. Southern Laurel County, also until 4:30. Pulaski County, that's until 4 o'clock, so that one will expire in about 6 minutes. The heaviest of those cells, eastern southern parts of Pulaski County. Just heard the quarry over there on Forbes Road have their daily blasting. So again, here's the big picture. Tornado warnings are gone, okay? We've had a couple of hours of lots of activity going on. For anything north and west of Lexington, enjoy the rest of your day. Eastern, southeastern Kentucky. What we are still looking at is a tornado warning over in Virginia. What we're looking at here, we still have a lot of untouched air. By that I mean it's still very warm, very humid, unstable. So that's storm fuel that this is going to begin to work on. The change that we've seen is that the area of low pressure, which is now going to be somewhere probably right about there, it's pulling up this way. It's going away. So what you're doing at that point is you're losing the shear that it was providing. So yeah, you still can have these straight line thunderstorm winds, but the chances of it spinning are a little bit less. Not zero, but it is certainly less. So again, as long as we don't have any new tornado warnings popping up here, we're going to give you over to LEX-18 News at 4 here, coming up in about 4 minutes or so. But again, here's the big picture. Again, Rockcastle County, you're done. We'll just take you from bottom to top. We start you back here, Pulaski County from Lake Cumberland area, down Maycliff, still the northern part of Wayne County, but beginning to pull away from there. McCreary County, you might still see a little bit. Now you get into severe thunderstorm warnings. Whitley County, Knox County, again, that's still a formidable storm sitting right over Corbin. That one, again, likely has some hail with it as well. You've got a squall line with a gust front that's approaching London at this point. That is a severe thunderstorm warning there until 4:30. So that's one of your cells that you're looking at. Then you continue into a strong storm, southern part of Jackson County, near Anvil. That storm is heading off to the east. And again, you're seeing how these are all kind of notching. And again, you can see around the edges of those notches, you can get a little bit of rotation. Something can briefly spin. It's not like the supercell that we watched from Madison County that just finished up in Wolfe County. This is more of a squall line situation. You've got more severe thunderstorms in Perry County, clipping the southern part of Breathitt County, but really it's in that kind of appendage there of Perry County. That'll clip northern Leslie County as well. You get up through Owsley and Lee County. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings, but the strongest of the storms are now getting past Boonville and Beattyville. You've got what was the tornado warning, now a severe thunderstorm warning. That's in Wolfe County. The storms are near Campton at this point, again, looking a lot more ragged than they were just a little bit ago. What you see now from Irvin to Stanton to Camargo to Mount Sterling to Owingsville, get some lightning and thunder to go along with it as well, but just rain at this point, and that continues on up to Flemingsburg and Moorhead. And again, how we were talking most of this today has been I-64 in south, and really it was Highway 150 in south, although we had that one supercell in northern Madison County. Big picture here for you. Bain, you got your 4 o'clock show ready?
Working on it.
All right, and we've already got Angie and Sean in here getting ready to bring you LEX 18 News at 4, which comes up in about a minute and a half. So again, there's your clustering of storms. Now, we're not done with the severe weather threat in southeastern Kentucky. So any of these places, I mean, there's lots of arrows, lots of orange polygons showing up, but these are all severe thunderstorm warnings at this point. And those continue back toward about I-75 at this point, and about Lake Cumberland there on the southwestern flank. These will continue pressing eastward with time. And once these are done, you just saw the severe thunderstorm watch expired for Lexington and the surrounding communities. So essentially, it's all the ones here that were under the auspices of Louisville. That has been pulled. Really, Rockcastle County, you guys are about done with it as well. New severe thunderstorm warning, I believe, just popped up. Now, it might be the same one there in Whitley County. But again, you're seeing there from, at this point, it's the Mountain Parkway south. Between Mountain Parkway, I-75, that's your polygon, or that's your box that's left for a severe weather potential for the rest of this afternoon. It's heavy rain here in the I-64 corridor. It's an improving day, Lexington back to the west, and then to the south, again, still the possibility of those strong storms. If you've been with us for the last couple hours, hopefully the weather at your house remained calm and tranquil. If not, hopefully if something bad was going on, you got to your safe spot and everybody is okay. Hopefully no damage occurred in your communities. We've heard of a few trees down, and that's been it so far, and hopefully it gets nothing worse than that. So with all that, Angie, Sean, you all ready?
All set.
Ready to go, Bill?
All righty. Bain? Close enough?
Close enough.
All righty. With that, here's LEX 18 News at 4.
Count on LEX 18 News.
Thank you, Bill. I'm Angie Bevan along with Sean Moody this afternoon, and we do have today's biggest stories in the Bluegrass.
It is primary day. We've got team coverage on the top candidates in the race for governor.
And police
Which is luckily on its way out now.
Storm tracker forecaster Bain Froney joins us now and still tracking the latest, though, as we're kind of watching it move on.
Yes, absolutely. So right now, we're really watching for all of those storms moving further east, southeast. Here in Lexington, pretty much looks like it's done, but we're still watching for quite a few of those storms. So make sure you are staying weather aware throughout the rest of the afternoon and into our early evening hours. Those strong storms still moving across central Kentucky, again, further into our south and southeastern counties. Strong wind, large hail possible. Also that heavy rain. We had a couple of tornado warnings already. Right now, there's none out there currently, but you can see all of these thunderstorm warnings that are still going to be in place. Right now, we're watching for that one right over there in Wolfe County, but we're also watching for a couple more of these cells that are starting to develop and get a little bit stronger. So again, just really want to stay weather aware over the next couple of hours. Quite a lot of rain is falling with these systems, as well as some pretty strong hail potential, as well as those strong winds. And of course, we have been seeing the potential for a couple of those tornadoes with those tornado warnings throughout the afternoon. If you've been watching us for the past couple of hours, you saw Bill Mack working really hard out there. But looking at severe risks, still currently going to be mostly into our south and southeastern counties. That's going to be in that enhanced risk there. Most of us here a little bit further into our northern counties north of Lexington, pretty much in the clear as of right now, but we're still watching for that potential for those stronger storms to keep on developing again further south and southeast. Quite a bit of rain has already fallen with a couple of these systems, seeing over an inch and over in Owentown. We're seeing almost an inch here in Lexington, and again, those storms and showers still going to continue on as well. We even saw quite a bit of rain falling in the western part of the state. Now, you can see here on Future Track, the storms continue throughout the early evening hours, again, mostly impacting our southern and southeastern counties. That's all going to slowly start to move this way over the next few hours. But by the time we get to the late evening, looks like everybody's going to be clearing out quite a bit. Still could see those lighter showers and storms coming through, but looks like that severe threat will be moving out of here the closer we get to our late time hours. Again, looking at that severe threat for today, mostly going to be those winds. So again, eastern and southeastern counties not in the clear quite yet. Still have those severe thunderstorm warnings in place. And also we could see some pretty large hail, as well as some heavy rain moving in, which is going to cause some flooding on those roads. Even if those storms have passed by your area already, just be careful on those roads. Could see a little bit of areas flooding over there. Again, not going to rule out isolated tornado chances again for us this later on this evening. Looking outside right now, though, this is downtown Lexington. It's quiet. quiet, not clear. We're still cloudy out there, but those dew points and those temperatures have really decreased as that front is starting to push further and further towards us. We're about 65 right now in Lexington, but you can see right down near London, 81. So look at that temperature difference there. So that's where all of this unstable air is going to be pushing on through for us there. Looks like we might have another warning coming out for us right now. Looks like we have over Breathitt, Knott, Leslie, Perry, and that's going to be until 4:45 for us there.
Severe.
So, severe thunderstorm coming in for us there. So we're going to take a look at that in just a second. We're going to head back there to our max track once again. But looking at that dew points, again, you can really see that difference, low 60s for us. But then if you look at our eastern counties, we're in those upper 60s and those low 70s. So yeah, still unstable air over in those areas. And our wind gusts as well. If you look further south, over near London and Corbin, we've gotten gusts up to 30 miles per hour. So very strong winds in those areas, as well as some storm reports. We got some wind damage over in some areas. Looks like mostly some of that hail damage as well, but mostly wind damage currently. So we're going to keep on getting those reports over the next couple of hours for us here. Now looking at future track, again, that warm front is moving closer and closer to the east. We're watching that low pressure system, and you can see that cold front pushing through later on this evening and also into tonight. So we'll be watching for that. Those temperatures are going to cool down quite a bit. And tomorrow looks nice and beautiful for us there. We have like lots of sunshine and some warmer temperatures. So it'll be a lot nicer throughout the rest of our work week here. You'll see it our 8-day forecast, mid to upper 70s Wednesday and Thursday. Again, on our Friday, we're going to be watching for those temperatures climbing again with some more storm chances by the Welcome back. We do have another severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be from Magoffin County till 4:45, just the very, very eastern edge of that area there. But we still have a lot of thunderstorm warnings that are going to be in place until about 4:30, 4:45-ish. But you still want to be really on high alert. Make sure you're staying weather aware for today. Stay weather aware throughout the next couple of hours, especially into the rest of our afternoon, into those evening hours, especially if you're in those eastern and southeastern counties. We're still seeing a lot of that rain. Again, that severe thunderstorm warning that just was issued over just to the eastern part of Magoffin County there, and you can still see lots of rain and also some powerful storms still continuing to move through. And you can see that on future track as well. For the next couple of hours, it's going to continue to move east and southeast, so still not in the clear for those areas, but a little bit further north of Lexington, we're nice and calm. We're going to stay that way for the rest of our evening and into overnight hours as well. And then by the time we get to our late night hours, we'll be seeing a lot of those storms moving on out of here. That severe risk, again, mostly going to be impacting our south and southeastern counties. Still not in the clear quite yet for those areas. We still have that enhanced risk over there. Most of our threats going to be those really damaging high winds coming into the area. Could also see some pretty large hail as well as some heavy rain in areas causing some flooding. Not going to rule out a tornado or two possible. We did have a couple of tornado warnings earlier this afternoon. Looking at rainfall totals, though, so far pretty impressive in some areas. We're almost reached an inch here in Lexington, over in Owentown, about over an inch over in those areas. And again, still continuing to watch for that rainfall totals in our south and southeastern counties there. Temperatures right now 65 in Lexington, but if you look over to our eastern and southern counties, we're still in the mid-70s over there. So very warm temperatures, and also those dew points still pretty impressive in our eastern and southern counties. Also seeing some pretty high wind gusts. We're getting a wind gust over 53 miles per hour over near London and Corbin. So just be careful over in those areas for the remainder of the evening.
All right, Ben, thank you. Lawmakers have
Chief Meteorologist Bill Meck. We have a new tornado warning that has been issued. This is going to be for folks in Magoffin County. We are looking at that particular tornado warning. You see the red flashing icon there, and that is, again, southern part of Magoffin County. So for most of us, the severe weather threat has ended, but for parts of eastern Kentucky, we're going to have to go ahead and bring this in a little bit. And so there again, you're seeing out here the warning that's out in Magoffin County. So there you go. We'll get the highlight. There it is, Magoffin County, 5:15. So there is your tornado warning that is out there. We have other severe thunderstorm warnings as well, but again, we're in the eastern part there of Magoffin County, south of Salyersville even, with this particular warning. So there you see it. Salyersville's right there. Severe thunderstorm warning surrounds it. But for folks there, you are looking at that storm that has taken on a little bit more tornadic characteristics. So it's all part of that same system that's been coming through. We had a break for a while from the tornadic weather. But again, here's Salyersville. You've got Prestonsburg there in Floyd County. So as we're tracking this particular cell, You see the BTI fairly, it's in the moderate range, 3.9 there. Some of the communities that are going to be impacted right over Hendricks at this point, Sublette, Burning Fork, Bradley, Royalton over the next 15 minutes or so. So again, this is generally running south. In fact, we've gone over to a tornado emergency with this. Is this confirmed tornado? Well, we just went to purple.
Oh, yeah, it has been observed just now.
Yeah, so we do have a confirmed tornado.
Over Hendricks, near Saylorsville, moving east at 25 miles per hour right now.
So again, confirmed tornado warning. That's the purple icon that you see going off there. So again, we have a confirmed tornado over Hendricks. Again, see, Salyersville's here. We are south of Salyersville. So again, for folks in Royalton, in Bradley, in Carver, you are looking at that storm over toward Gapville. The storm over Forker at this, or Fraker at this point. But again, Royalton, you were right smack in the middle of the path for this. So as we are looking at this storm, there we go. Let's get the Jackson radar site, because that's going to be by far the closest one that we're looking at with this. So again, on the storm relative velocities you're looking here, the storm would be right around Carver, Royalton. When you're looking at the shear rates off of this, showing up vividly, bright yellow. So again, going to the extreme category with this cell, as it is near Royalton. There you see Carver. So this is in Magoffin County. We are in eastern Kentucky. We are south of Salyersville. But again, the shear rates are showing up as extreme on this. So again, what is a confirmed tornado, and there, I mean, there you see it. Shows up very well there. Keep in mind that the radar site is going to be back here. So when you're looking at the rotation with this, it is going to be toward the radar, which is sitting down there in Jackson, and then away from the radar. So that's your counterclockwise spin there. And again, that's a sharp delineation that you're seeing there. So again, a confirmed tornado, the purple that you're seeing there, south of Lakeville. It's going to be headed toward Marshallville here in Magoffin County. This is a tornado warning. It's a confirmed tornado warning until 5:15 for the southern part there of Magoffin County. So with this storm, again, you're seeing again the vivid rotation showing up. That is as classic as you're going to get with the reds and the greens actually sitting right next to each other at this point. And again, it has been confirmed. That's why it's flashing the purple instead of flashing the red that you would normally see with a tornado warning. So that's the next step up on the chain of warning issues. There's also a tornado emergency where you have a large tornado in progress. But this, again, has been confirmed. So, again, this is the warning that's been issued. So you got Salyersville. So, again, we're south of Salyersville in Magoffin County. So we're in the southern part of the county. This is going to be headed on toward, for folks there, you get over into Floyd County, toward Prestonsburg. You've got that tornado warning there around Carver. Bradley, Gypsy, again, communities that are involved with this particular cell. And so, again, you're showing the inflow coming in like this right around Carver there. The velocity displays, again, showing in for it. Although the latest one here now, you've got an update, a little bit more diffuse, and we were talking about this with the tornado warnings earlier, how they will go through cycles. Now, we were just at a real intense phase just a second ago, and now it looks like it may have cycled just a little bit here. Still, there is rotation, no doubt about it, that there is rotation going on here. And again, this is south of Salyersville in Magoffin County. So again, it's a confirmed tornado warning. That'll be in effect until 5:15. So we'll take you until this gets into Floyd County. So for Floyd County, you are technically moving out of our viewing area at that point. We still know folks watch us out that way. But again, we are looking at that confirmed tornado warning for folks that are in Magoffin County. So again, not quite as vivid as it was on the last pass, but it's still there. So again, that's the shear that is showing up. So what the shear is, You saw the relative velocity, the straight up velocity. Okay, those are terrific. But again, there's a lot of stuff going on. What the shear rates do for us is basically help to focus us a little bit more, and where's the area we really need to look at. And it's something that's proprietary within our radar system, our MaxTrack Doppler here. So again, the algorithms that create this are proprietary in there. So that's what we're looking at. Again, we look at the velocity. You see it here. Not well, severe thunderstorm. There's tornado warning. But when you're talking about the velocity display, again, there it is. It's certainly there. Not quite the same as it was a pass ago, and these are coming in about every 3 minutes. We're at a distance now where we're actually out beyond the range of the MaxTrack here with its velocity display. So that's why we're using the Jackson radar. But again, we're talking that confirmed tornado warning 5:15 for folks that are in southern Magoffin County. So just again, keep everything in perspective. There's Salyersville, and we're talking south of there. So it's Marshallville and Gypsy. You folks are in the path of this particular cell right now. And again, it shows up pretty vividly for you right there. It's part of that larger area that we've been watching all afternoon. And there you see the other warnings that are around. There aren't many warnings left. You got Knott County severe thunderstorm warning. The severe thunderstorm watch is just about out of the area of southeastern Kentucky even. It only extends from Leslie County, Bell County, Perry County, Knott County, and then up through the storms that are in Salyersville. That continues to end up as a severe thunderstorm warning into Paintsville there, and when you get over into Johnson County. That's the overall picture of it. So again, everything now is shifted into southeastern Kentucky at this point. We've got other strong storms going through Pike County. You do have severe thunderstorm warnings there in and around Pikeville. That's also beginning to take on some characteristics of a supercell, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. Bottom line is, for the southern part there of Magoffin County, you do indeed have that tornado warning, and again, it's a confirmed tornado warning that we're looking at from that particular cell. It is south of Salyersville. We look at the velocity again just to help pinpoint it. There you see what's going on. It's a little more diffuse circulation than it was even just a few minutes ago, but that tornado warning is going to continue until 5:15. You see Royalton. It's basically over Royalton at this point. Right around Carver, you're seeing that as well. Gapville, Brainerd, not quite the bonanza there as you're looking over into Floyd County. Bradley, Royalton, but really it's right over Royalton at this point where we would be seeing this cell. Marshallville, you are next in line. Gypsy is also in line for this cell as it continues working its way toward the east. So when we're talking our severe weather situations, what do? We talk about the ways to stay safe. And with that, if you look at the schematic of a house here, the best place to go, if you have a basement, you go there. Get to the lowest level you can. So basement if you got it. If not, you want to be on the ground floor. But not just any room in the ground floor. If you're on a wall here that's on the outside of the house, you're really not all that safe. You want to be in the middle part of your house. So the bathroom as depicted here would be the safest spot. It's got the most walls between it and the outside. The other thing would be okay, maybe that closet right there would end up being okay. Remember to close all the doors if you can. These are the ways that you can stay safe in the event that the tornado is actually headed toward you. So we are looking at that cell still now to the south and southeast of Salyersville in Magoffin County. And so you've got Salyersville here, and we're running it, well, we actually put another track on here. We'll expand that out and put a track on it for you. We'll try to put a track on here for you. There we go. Back out. That's gonna. It's not going southeast though. That's the thing. So we'll do our own track because the path of this is definitely more about 35 miles an hour on those, Bain?
Yes.
Okay. So again, here you go. Here's your times of arrival. Marshallville 5:02, Gypsy 5:04, Brainerd 5:11, Swamp Branch 5:14, Bonanza, Dobson, you're getting over into Floyd County, again 5:15 with those. West Prestonsburg 5:23, Prestonsburg itself 5:24 that we are looking at for that cell. So again, it's over very close to Royalton at this point. Again, you notice the purple flashing. That indicates that it's a confirmed tornado that we are seeing there. Confirmed tornado warning. So 5:15 McGoffin County with this particular tornado warning. So again, this is heading south of Salyersville, headed toward Prestonsburg. So it's running along and south of the Mountain Parkway extension there. So this happened earlier. You notice that just turned orange there in Prestonsburg in Floyd County. So what happened earlier when they extended a warning out and made it a severe thunderstorm as opposed to a tornado, they expired the tornado warning shortly thereafter. So they may be doing the exact same thing here. In fact, Bain, can you check that?
They haven't canceled it yet.
Just can you put a note in there to see if they're going to? Thank you. All righty. So again, the circulation is becoming more diffuse as we've gone through the last few minutes here. When we first started bringing this warning, it was really tight. And so this is going through what is probably going to be a little bit of a weakening phase. You notice the reds and greens are not next to each other anymore. So yeah, there is, if you were looking at this, and you should not be underneath it looking at it. If you were looking at it from a distance, you might see the lowered wall cloud. There might be a broad circulation in that wall cloud, but again, that tightening where you would see the funnel may or may not be happening at this point. Now, it was a confirmed tornado about 10 minutes ago. And again, how you're seeing that separation right in there. And the radar site itself is out of Jackson, so it's not far away. So again, you're relatively low elevation where you're seeing that. But folks around Marshallville and Gypsy, you know what? You're still in your safe spots. You are still in your safe spots waiting for this storm to come by. If you're in Carver, the storm is by you. You don't have any worries from that. It's, again, pushed its way off to the east. So again, that confirmed tornado warning until 5:15. Outside of that tornado warning, you have severe thunderstorm warnings that are in McGoffin County until 5:15 as well. Floyd County until 5:15. That is also the southern part of McGoffin County. See it? It's how that expands out away from the actual severe thunderstorm warning. Then heads also into, that's going to be part of Floyd County there.
And Bill, that tornado warning just happened.
And they just did it. So there we go. So with that, we are canceling that tornado warning. Severe thunderstorm warnings are still in effect for parts of eastern and southeastern Kentucky. But with that, the tornado warning being allowed to expire, actually canceling it early, that means we can send it over to folks on the news side, and we get you into our election coverage as well. So off to you guys.